A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
The Sisters, starring Miss Frances Farmer with Miss Kathy Lewis. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Now, here is a very lovely item. The lining is pure silk.
Yes, that's very nice. But I believe I'd like to see something perhaps even a little better.
Oh, of course. If you will just step over this way, Miss Haskell. Now, here is an exquisite casket, something that really honors the departed.
It is beautiful.
Now, the interior is just the same as the last one you looked at, but the casket itself is of bronze, solid bronze. And notice particularly the seams, guaranteed airtight and watertight. You know, of course, how important that is.
Oh, yes, of course.
In 100 years or even 200 years, this casket will be just as strong and look just as beautiful as it does on this stand today. You couldn't buy a finer piece of workmanship.
How much would this one be, please?
This casket, a Duravo, by the way, Duravo for durability, as we say in the trade, is expensive, but it is such a solace to know that one has given the dear departed the finest possible last honor. This Duravo is priced at $750.
Very well. I'll take it.
I'm sure you'll never regret it. In all my years as a mortician, I've never found a family that has not been completely satisfied with the Duravo. And now, do you wish us to handle the funeral arrangements?
I don't know yet. If you'll just hold the casket here for me for a while, please.
Hold it? But, for how long?
Not more than 3 weeks.
3 weeks? I don't understand. Who is the party, the deceased? Who is the casket for?
It's for me.
Lydia, where have you been? You've been gone all afternoon.
I've been shopping.
Did you get me some ribbons?
No, I didn't have time.
Oh, I wanted some new ribbons. My others are all worn out. See, Lydia?
Ellie, I wish you'd stop putting ribbons in your hair like a schoolgirl. You're almost 40 years old.
I know, Lydia. I know.
Then try to act like it.
I wonder why we have to grow old. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we were young like we used to be?
Well, we're not, Ellie, so stop talking nonsense.
It is nonsense, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
Oh, the doorbell rang while you were out, just before you came home.
You didn't answer it?
Oh, no. You told me never to answer it. I just looked out of the upstairs window.
Did you see who it was?
Yes, it was a man, a rather big man. He rang a long time, and then he went away.
He didn't see you, did he?
Oh, no. I just peeked ever so carefully from behind the curtains. Then I came down here and watched him going down the walk.
You came downstairs?
Yes,
I told you never to come down those stairs when I'm not in the house.
It was all right, Lydia. I held on very tight to the banisters all the way, and I didn't once look down the stairwell. So I didn't get dizzy, and I didn't want to jump.
Well, don't do it again.
I won't. I promise. What did you buy today, Lydia?
A Duravo.
What's a Duravo?
Don't ask so many questions, Ellie.
All right. Lydia, I think I'll sew a while. I could fix up some of these old ribbons. May I, Lydia?
Yes, so. It will be good for you.
Thank you. Lydia?
Yes?
Lydia, could I go shopping someday?
Don't be a fool.
I'm sorry. I just thought... No, I suppose you're right. It wouldn't do. Not yet. wasn't any mail today.
Wasn't there?
No. I thought perhaps there'd be a letter from David. It's been such a long time since he's written.
I haven't noticed.
Oh, yes. He used to write every week on Tuesday, and I'd get the letter on Thursday. But there wasn't one this week, or last, or the week before that. It's strange, isn't it? But perhaps he's been busy.
Perhaps. Stop singing that. Stop it.
But, Lydia, it's my favorite hymn.
Well, learn another one. That's all you sing day and night, the same tune over and over and over. Now stop it.
Lydia, sometimes you frighten me. The way you look at me. You make me think that perhaps I'm not getting well. That perhaps I'm still crazy. I'm not. Am I, Lydia? I'm not so crazy.
Yes?
Good evening. You Miss Lydia Haskell?
Yes?
Oh, can I speak to you for a minute?
Well, I don't...
I was here this afternoon. There was no one home.
What is it, please?
I'm from the police department.
Oh, really? I don't see what the police would want with me. But come in if you wish.
Thanks. Miss Haskell, we got a call this afternoon from Doan Brothers, the undertakers. And, well, you've got to admit it's sort of unusual for a woman to order a casket for herself.
Unusual? I've heard of many cases of that kind. People who are alone in this world with no one else to look after things.
Sure, I know. Only it's a little more unusual when you can name the date. The undertaker said you wanted the casket held for 3 weeks. Why 3 weeks? There must be some reason for that.
There is. I'm going to die. I shall die in 3 weeks, or perhaps even before. That's why I ordered the casket. You may call it a premonition, if you like.
Maybe I could also call it suicide. I don't know whether you know it, but suicide is a crime in the eyes of the state.
For which there is no punishment.
Not if it's successful, no, but our job's to prevent it.
I have no intention of taking my own life. There is no need to do so, since I know I'm going to die.
I don't quite understand that.
I didn't expect you to.
Miss Haskell, do you live here alone?
Yes.
No relations? No housekeeper?
I live alone here. And now if you're finished with your impertinent questions...
I'm sorry, Miss Haskell. I'm only doing my job. I was told to find out why you bought that casket.
Then I think we may assume you have found out.
I guess so. Sorry I had to bother you.
So am I. Good night.
Oh, Miss Haskell, how are you going to die?
I don't know. Nor do I consider it important. Why should you?
Yeah. Oh, good night.
Good night.
Lydia?
Ellie, what are you doing sitting on the stairs in the dark?
Lydia, I heard what that man said. Lydia, why did you buy the casket? Why are you going to die? You mustn't, Lydia, you mustn't die. I'd be alone if you died.
Go up to bed, Ellie.
Oh, Lydia, you won't die. Promise me you won't.
I promise you. Now go to bed.
Why did you buy the casket? Why, Lydia? Why do you want to die? I don't want to die. No one does.
You have such a lot to live for, haven't you, Ellie?
Yes, I have, Lydia. I've been happy. You've made me happy. And someday when I'm well again, David will be waiting for me. You know he will be. You've always told me he'd be waiting. And he'll see that I'm well again, and he'll take me back. I know he will. I'm not that much older. David won't see me as old. He told me that when I was well, no matter how long it took, he'd still see me as a young girl.
Haven't you learned yet? Don't you know yet that you're mad and you'll always be mad?
No. No. No, I'm getting better, Lydia. You know I'm getting better.
Yes, putting bows in your hair, sewing ribbons all day long, sneaking about the house at night, spying on me, singing the same hymn over and over and over until I think I'm going mad, too. Oh, yes, you're getting better.
Is that why you want to die? To get away from me? I thought you loved me, Lydia.
Why should I love you? I gave you the best of everything I had. I've given you my whole life. I even gave you David.
Lydia, you were in love with David? He came to our house. Was it you he came to see?
Yes. But I had to stand by and watch you take him from me. And when you had your first attack, I was glad. People said what a shame it was. But I was glad.
Lydia.
Because I knew then that he could never have you. Oh, yes, you were going to be cured, and he was going to wait. But it won't matter now how long he waits, because you'll never be cured, and he'll never have you, never.
You hate me. You've always hated me. You didn't bring me here so I'd be cured. You wanted to keep me this way. Mad. That's why you took me out of that place. Because they might have made me well again.
Go upstairs.
You hate me. You bought a casket today, Lydia. Was it for yourself? Or is it for me?
Ellie, what a dreadful thing to say.
Yes. I can see it in your eyes. It is for me. You're going to kill me.
Ellie, you're my sister. My twin sister.
And you want to get rid of me because you hate me. Yes. Yes, because you love David. You're going to kill me, and they'll come and find me and bury me. And they'll think it's you.
Ellie, you are mad.
They'll think it's you who is dead. Because no one knows I'm living here. And then you'll go away. You'll go back to David. And you'll say that Lydia has died. And he'll think you are me. And that I'm well again. And he'll marry you. You'll have him. You'll be Ellie. And you'll have my David.
Did you hear what I said? Go upstairs and get to bed.
Lydia. Lydia. How can you be so wicked?
She's just pretending to be asleep. She's lying over there on the other side of the room, staring at me through the dark. She knows it was the truth tonight. She knows I'm going to kill her. And now that she knows it will have to be soon. And it mustn't look like murder. No, it mustn't. But how? How shall I do it? That hymn. That hymn. I could kill her for that. Just for singing that hymn. I could kill her. But how? Stairs. The stairwell. She gets dizzy as she looks down into the stairwell. Yes. 3 floors straight down. The stairwell, of course. Ellie, you mustn't cry anymore. Do you hear me? You mustn't be afraid of the dark. Here, I'll light the lamp for you. There, dear. That's better, isn't it? Why, you're shivering. We'll go down to the parlor and light a fire, and I'll make you a nice cup of hot milk. Come, Ellie.
No.
Now, Ellie, stop acting like a child.
I am a child. Mommy, I'm your little Ellie.
Now, come, dear. Here's your wrapper. Put it around your shoulders. That's my little girl. Get up now. Give me your hand, dear. Now, be careful. Walk slowly. There we are. Now, hold on to the banister, dear. That's right. I'll hold the lamp up high so you can see better.
I'm afraid. The stairwell.
Ellie, you must get over that fear. Look, Ellie. Just look down. There's nothing to frighten you. Look down the stairwell, Ellie.
No.
I'm holding you, dear. Just lean over and look down.
No. Don't make me look. I can't stand it.
Come closer, dear.
No.
Closer. Lean over. Lean over.
No.
Lean over, Ellie. Look down.
No.
Now, Ellie. No.
Let me go.
Lean over. Look down. Look down.
On CBS. Suspense. And the producer of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, the master of mystery and adventure, William N. Robson.
It is with pride and humility that we accept the opinion of you, the listener, who have voted Suspense the best dramatic show of the year. Now to the upcoming story. A gentle story of three gentle people with modest murder in their hearts and quiet greed in their souls. Sort of people you are apt to run into almost any place at almost any time. Listen then, as Ray Noble stars with Miss Lee Patrick in Just One Happy Little Family, which begins in exactly 1 minute.
Memo on medals. Information you may not know about our military decorations. One of the most famous holders of the Silver Star was General John J. Pershing. He was awarded the medal in recognition of service during the Philippine Campaign, before he went on to greater fame as Commander-in-Chief of the American Expeditionary Forces in World War I. Bestowing a trophy of honor in recognition of distinguished achievement goes back to the early days of civilized man. Probably the oldest record of a decoration is a wreath of laurel, which was used to crown winners of athletic contests in ancient Greece. It is interesting to note that versions of the laurel wreath appear even today on many modern medals of various nations. In the United States Navy, it is a tradition to award bonus points for advancement in rating based on medals and citations. For example, 5 extra points are given to winners of the Medal of Honor. As unique accolades for valor and superior service, medals symbolize our nation's recognition of individual dedication to the cause of freedom. And now, Just One Happy Little Family, starring Ray Noble with Miss Lee Patrick. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
What a pretty gesture. Now, come sit in the parlor, Mr. Dunkel, and catch your breath.
Yes, thank you. I believe I will. After all, one doesn't carry a bride over the threshold every day, my dear Victoria. And certainly never as lovely a one as you.
Oh, Mr. Dunkel, come this way.
Oh, this beautiful parlor, so elegant.
It was my dear departed favorite room.
Victoria, we are indeed fortunate to find each other. You alone in this big house, and me alone with no house.
It does work out nicely, doesn't it? With your money in my house, we should be able to... what was it the lady said at the Cupid's Lair Friendship Club? Oh, yes. Spend our golden years together.
How well she put it.
You poor thing, you must be tired. Let me fix you a nice cup of tea.
Good idea. My wife, Jane, rest her soul, used to say it was just the thing to perk a person up.
You just sit and rest. I won't be a minute. Mr. Duncan, Tiny Green, Darjeeling, Pickle, Ceylon, Mint.
Now, what does all that mean?
They're teas. Which kind would you like?
Oh, just plain tea will be fine.
All right.
Why, what a lot of bottles and jars. All of these teas.
Oh, heavens, no. They're herbs and things. I'm an herb expert, you know.
No, I didn't.
It's a sort of a hobby with me. Here we are. It won't be a minute.
Oh, you have quite a collection here. New skin. Now, what's that used for?
It's mostly for love potions, but sometimes I use it for dreams.
Foxblend, hemlock, arsenic, strychnine. Victoria, aren't these dangerous to have around?
Of course not. You just have to know how to use them.
But strychnine and arsenic, these aren't herbs.
Oh, don't you give it another thought. I told you I'm an expert. Now, come along. We'll have tea in the parlor.
Victoria, my dear, that was delicious tea.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Dunkel. Now I'm sure you would like to unpack and get settled. After all, this is your home, too, now. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine.
Yes, my dear. The two of us are one, until death do us part.
Oh, please, Mr. Dunkel, let us not talk about things like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Victoria, but one must be prepared to face facts. I think we should make our wills as soon as possible.
I have a confession to make, Mr. Dunkel. I already had my lawyer take care of it. He'll bring the papers for us to sign tomorrow.
My dear Victoria, you think of everything.
I try to, my dear. Now, shall we get unpacked?
All right.
Oh, don't try to carry too many valises at once, Mr. Dunkel. Those stairs are steep.
Very well, Victoria. I'll just take this large one first.
And I'll carry this little black one.
No, not that one. I'll take it.
No, I can manage. What a vicious-looking lot of knives. Are they yours?
Of course they're mine.
What on earth are you doing with them?
Well, when I retired, I just couldn't part with them. They were my favorite.
Might I ask what your position was before you retired?
I thought I told you. I was a butcher.
Butcher?
Yes. My wife, Mary, rest her soul, used to say that I was the most distinguished butcher in town.
Didn't you say your wife's name was Jane?
Jane? Why, it was Mary Jane. Yes, that was it. Mary Jane. A wonderful woman.
Mr. Dunkel, you'll find the guest room at the head of the stairs.
Guest room? But, Victoria, the two of us are one.
Not tonight, Mr. Dunkel. My door will be locked.
Locked?
Locked. And it will remain locked until the lawyer comes tomorrow. Good night, Mr. Dunkel.
There we are, all signed and sealed. What is his is yours, and what is yours is his, and vice versa.
Oh, I'm glad it's over, Mr. Alderdice. I think wills are so depressing.
Yes, so reassuring, my dear.
Yes, I suppose they are. And now, if you will excuse me, I'll see to the tea.
Well, Dunkel, I must say you are to be congratulated. You have a fine woman for a wife.
Yes, a fine woman.
Dunkel, make her happy. You can do it. She's had such a sad life, losing her husband, one after the other.
Husband?
Yes, poor woman. All 7. Every one as fond as $1, or so it seems. And then, one by one, gone. It's been so hard on her, and now with this house mortgaged to the hilt.
Mortgage?
Dunkel, what's the matter? Well, are you ill? Dunkel? Victoria, quick, I think Mr. Dunkel has fainted.
In a moment, we continue with the second act of Suspense.
Another visit with Joe and Daphne Forsythe.
Overhead, the moon is big.
Hold it, Daphne, hold it.
Oh, hi, Joe. Guess what, honey? I'm trying out for the operetta.
As what?
A singer.
You could have fooled me.
I was just practicing one of the songs.
Well, I don't think you quite fit the role.
Why not?
Well, if this version of the Student Prince is like the version I know, that particular number is sung by a tenor.
Oh.
Not that you don't come close, but I think you better stick to being a housewife.
But I want to be a singer.
Daphne, honey, a singer you'll never be.
I could take lessons.
Yeah, but lessons cost money. Money better invested for us in savings bonds.
You and your old savings bond.
I can't help it, honey. I just can't get over the way those savings bonds pay off. $4 for every 3. That's what I call an investment.
What good do they do me now?
A lot. The money we put in those bonds every payday helps keep America strong and protects you and me. No bonds, maybe no operetta. Ever think of that?
I still want to be a singer.
Well, when those bonds start bringing in the green, if you still want to sing, they'll pay for the lessons and more.
Good. Gee, if those bonds mature as fast as you say, I better start practicing now just so that I'll be ready. Overhead, the moon is big.
Daphne, did anyone ever tell you you have a bad voice?
Everyone.
Now, starring Ray Noble with Miss Lee Patrick, Act 2 of Just One Happy Little Family.
Mr. Dunkel, why are you looking at me so strangely?
Why didn't you tell me this house was mortgaged?
Oh, it's only a little second
A
mortgage.
second mortgage? And why didn't you tell me about your being married before?
Oh, my dear departed husband?
No, about your dear departed husband.
Oh, let's not talk about them. We have each other now for our golden years. Let us forget the past.
How familiar that sounds. Sylvia, rest her soul, always said it was better to forget the past.
Who is Sylvia?
Well, she was my wife. A wonderful woman.
But you said your wife's name is Jane. Then she was Mary. And now Sylvia. Don't tell me her name was Mary Jane Sylvia.
Well, not quite. It was like this.
Mr. Dunkel, how many wives have you had?
4.
And where are they now?
They passed on.
4 wives? Oh, how could you?
But you've had 7 husbands.
All right, Mr. Dunkel. Let's not quarrel. Let us live for the future. Maybe there is a little second mortgage on the house, but with your retirement money...
Victoria, my dear, there is something you should know about my retirement.
What about it? You are retired, aren't you?
Yes. Well, not exactly retired. I'm bankrupt.
Bankrupt? Then you don't have any money?
Not a penny, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, this is a terrible blow to me. I had such plans.
I imagine you did, involving arsenic and strychnine and me.
Oh, now, Mr. Dunkel, confess. Didn't you plan to carve me up like a pot roast?
Well, just because you prefer arsenic is no reason to berate me.
Arsenic is neat and tidy, certainly not like the mess you must make.
I beg your pardon. I told you I'm a first-class butcher.
I'm sure you are, Mr. Dunkel. And that gives me an idea.
What kind of an idea?
I have an idea we might make a good team.
A team?
Yes. We both need money, and since we're both rather expert, why not work together?
On whom?
We can place an advertisement in the papers and rent the guest room.
It might work at that. There's plenty of room in the cellar.
And the flower garden is nice and soft. Hardly any work to dig it up.
Victoria, I think it's a splendid idea.
Then we'd better advertise at once. There is a mortgage payment due.
I don't know, Victoria. 5 applicants so far, and not a one had any money, and even worse, most of them had relatives here in the city.
Oh, have patience, Mr. Dunkel. We'll find someone. Oh, please, don't give up the ship, Mr. Dunkel. Yes? You're both just as I knew you would be. So sweet and saintly. You must have the wrong house, child.
But I can't have. Oh, I hurried so. I did so want to be the first one here. I just know it's what I'm looking for.
What is?
The room. The advertisement in the paper said you had...
that. Why didn't you say so? Do come in, child.
Thank you. Oh, it's so beautiful in here.
What's your name?
Golden Link.
Golden Link? Oh, what a a lovely sound.
May I have the room? May I, please? I have money, lots of it, right here in my purse. I'll show you. I keep it tied up in this handkerchief.
My, that is a lot of money. Aren't you afraid of losing it?
Goodness, no. And besides, I can get much more at home.
Ah, you have a home and a family, I suppose?
I don't have a family. My daddy and mommy went to heaven together, and I was so lonely in that big house.
A big house?
Oh, very big. Here, I have a picture of it in my purse. See?
That is a big house. It must have 40 rooms.
I think there are 52.
And you have no relatives?
No. I'm all by myself.
Poor dear. What every girl needs a family.
I want one more than anything. Oh, please let me stay. I could be so happy here.
Of course you can stay. You're just the kind of dear person we were hoping for. Right down, Mr. Dunkel. Your breakfast is on the table. Golden Link goes down in a minute.
Do you have everything ready?
Oh, yes. Right here. All mixed with a hot chocolate. I got the recipe from a very old witch's handbook, but I've never tried it before. I do hope it works.
I hope so, too, my dear. I can't think of any other way to get her power of attorney.
Mr. Dunkel, are you sure it will be legal?
Oh, of course. The same thing worked with Sylvia. Or was it Mary Jane?
Well, let's do be careful. Golden Link is such a sensitive girl, I couldn't bear to hurt her feelings.
You have grown fond of her in these 2 weeks she's been with us, haven't you, my dear?
I really have. I don't know what it is, but something about her reminds me of myself when I was a girl. It's just like having a daughter. Did you find her a nice spot in the garden?
I looked, but it's all too rocky.
Just like our own daughter, and we have to put her in that awful cellar. The garden would be so much nicer. She loves flowers, so...
Good morning, Daddy Dunkel and Mommy Dunkel.
Sit down, dear. I have a lovely surprise for you. Here, I made it especially for you.
Oh, chocolate. What a heavenly idea. You do so much for me.
Drink it while it's hot.
It's delicious. So different tasting.
The recipe is quite old.
Oh, that's good. Oh, but it's making me so sleepy.
Certainly worked quickly.
Doesn't it, though? Now we'll make sure. Golden Link. Golden Link. Can you hear me, child?
I hear you.
Now, Golden Link, I want you to do something for me. It's very simple. I want you to write your name on this piece of paper.
Yes, Mommy Dunkel. Whatever you say.
Here you are, Mr. Dunkel, all signed.
Amazing, Victoria. But how are you going to bring her out of the trance?
Simple. All potions have a counter potion. Here, Golden Link, my dear. Drink some more chocolate. It will be good for you.
Yes, Mommy Dunkel.
Golden Link, was the chocolate good?
Oh, yes, it was wonderful. Such a nice change from tea.
You are all right?
Of course, I feel wonderful. So wonderful that I think I'll compose some poetry today. Maybe a sonnet. Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll write a sonnet about my little family.
Another one? We must have written 2 dozen.
Oh, I never get tired of writing about my little family. Oh, please.
Well, Victoria, now that the paper is signed, I'll get my things ready.
I suppose you'd better.
I must say it will feel good to slip into a white coat again. If only I hadn't thrown away my straw hat.
In a moment, we continue with the third act of Suspense.
We have together ample capacity and freedom to defend freedom. This is NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Day after day, month after month, since April 4th, 1949, the activities of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization have moved steadily forward on many fronts. This complete cooperation must and will continue because the concept of national self-sufficiency is out of date. Countries of the free world are interdependent, and only in genuine partnership and by combining their resources, sharing tasks in many fields, can progress and safety be found. The United States of America is a part of NATO. You should be aware of and alert to the objectives and programs of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
And now, starring Ray Noble with Miss Lee Patrick, Act 3 of Just One Happy Little Family.
Oh, Mr. Jekyll, must you do that? That sound sets my teeth on edge.
These knives have to be razor sharp, my dear. A point of professional pride with me. I'll be ready in a minute.
Oh, surely you're not thinking of doing it now.
May as well.
But she's writing a sonnet to us. Can't it wait just a while longer before we send her away?
I suppose so.
After tea time, then. Golden Link just so like tea time, and I hate to disappoint her.
Oh, very well.
Oh, I can't bear to stay here and listen to that dreadful sound. Oh, Golden Link, child, why are you standing here by the door?
I wanted you to hear my sonnet.
Oh, of course, my dear. But let me see what you've written so far. A silver sunshine cabbage and the blue and purple roses. Then to... But it's not finished, child.
I can't think. Not now. I don't feel well, Mommy Dumpy.
Oh, you poor dear. Why don't you go rest in your room and maybe you'll think of something.
Yes, I'll do that. Maybe by tea time I'll think of something.
Golden Link, what a lovely surprise. You're making tea for us. But you're not having any.
No. I did so love the chocolate you made this morning, I decided to have it again instead of tea. But it doesn't have the flavor yours has.
No, I imagine not.
Now, these jelly sandwiches are just the way I like them. Sprinkled with sugar.
Here, Daddy Dunkel, have another.
At least I will. It's truly delicious. I enjoy jelly sandwiches with my tea.
Oh, Mr. Dunkel, what's the matter? Do you have a touch of indigestion?
It's not indigestion. He's dead.
Dead? Oh, you ridiculous child. Why should he be dead?
I poisoned him.
You poisoned him?
Oh, yes. I hope you're not angry that I used so many of your herbs.
Golden Link. How could you?
You were going to get rid of me. That's why I had to put some of your herbs in the sandwiches and tea.
The tea? But I drank it too.
Yes, I know.
Oh, you've got to help me. Get the antidote.
Oh, I don't think there is one, Mommy Dunkle. Your little recipe book didn't have one for hemlock.
Hemlock? Oh, you're right. There is no antidote. Well, what's done is done. Oh, why did you do it, child?
You were planning to send me away. I heard you. My Mommy and Daddy were going to send me away, too. They didn't love me either. But I showed them how much I loved them. I sent them to heaven together, just like you and Daddy Dunkel.
You poisoned them?
Goodness, no. I used an axe. This is the first time I've ever poisoned anyone.
But your big house.
I didn't want to go to that big house. I didn't like it. Most of the time they kept me locked in a room. But I got away.
And we thought you were rich.
I am. Oh, yes. A nice old man who lives in the big house gave me the money. He's got lots and lots of it. General Robert E. Lee gave it to him personally.
Oh, Golden Link, child. No wonder you remind me of myself when I was a girl. Oh.
Don't worry, Mommy Dunkel. Now that you and Daddy Dunkel have gone to heaven, I'll have to find another family to love. But I'll find one. I'm sure there are lots and lots of people who would like to have a daughter like me.
Suspense, in which Mr. Ray Noble stars licensed production of Just One Happy Little Family, an original radio play by John Thornton. Supporting Mr. Noble and Miss Patrick in Just One Happy Little Family were Shirley Mitchell and David Shiner. Listen. Listen again next week when we return with another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. And the producer of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, the master of mystery and adventure, William N. Robeson.
There is an easily recognizable distinction between a bookkeeper and a bookmaker. They usually are to be found one within and the other without the law. But when a bookkeeper starts taking from a bookmaker, such a nice distinction is apt to become confused amid photo finishes, scratch sheets, and the morning wire, with results ranging from welching to grand larceny, from mayhem to murder. Results which we hope will keep you in suspense. Listen then as Frank Lovejoy stars in Win, Place, or Die, which begins in exactly 1 minute.
Memo on medals. Information about our military awards and decorations. The highly rated Air Medal is a bronze compass rose suspended by a pointer and charged with a swooping American eagle clutching lightning bolts in its talons. The ribbon consists of a wide blue band flanked by narrow gold and orange bands with the blue repeated along the edges. This dramatically designed decoration is given for meritorious achievement while participating in an aerial flight under circumstances which do not justify awarding the higher-ranked Distinguished Flying Cross. The Air Medal was authorized for heroic action after September 8, 1939. It has proved to be a major source of pride to those airmen who have earned it, and a stimulus to others for greater devotion to duty. Extra service and extra accomplishment merit special attention and recognition. The Air Medal pays tribute to those who distinguish themselves and do honor to their country and their branch of service while participating in aerial flight.
And now, Win, Place, or Die, starring Frank Lovejoy. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
A salary will only go so far, and a bookkeeper's salary like mine not quite that far. But I thought I saw an out, and I played it. It seemed like a sure thing. You see, there were only 3 of us in the main office of the Randolph Theater chain. The boss, me, and Jeannie, the gal I was going to marry.
Joe,
Yeah, honey?
you going to take me to dinner tonight?
Well, I don't feel much like going out. Why don't you grab some frozen stuff, and I'll come by your place.
Broke again?
Jeannie, don't start that. You know I got a lot of old bills.
You promised to give me some money each week to save for the house and the furniture.
Well, I will next week. I'll start next week.
Joe, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Yes, there is. Something's wrong. Something you're not telling me.
Oh, drop it, Jeannie. Will you just drop it? Randolph Theaters.
Harper?
Yeah?
Sid Kurtz.
Yeah.
You're late, Joe.
Yes, I know. I'm going out to lunch now. I'll see you in a few minutes.
That's nice, Joe. I'll be waiting at the corner.
Who is that?
That's the guy I'm working on a deal with. I'll tell you all about it someday.
You'll wait too long, Joe.
Randolph Theaters.
Joe, this is Rita. I didn't get a letter from you this morning.
Oh, I know. Rita, look. I can't give you anything this week.
Joe, I have the rent to pay, and Ginny needs clothes.
Yeah, I know, but I'm in a jam.
I should think you'd at least want to support your son.
Oh, get off my back, will you?
Maybe if that girl you're running around with down at the office found out you have an ex-wife and a kid to support, she wouldn't think so much of you. Maybe I ought to tell her.
You do that, and you'll never get another dime. Once one of them gets on your back, they all climb on. But there was one I couldn't stall. Sid Kurtz. I opened the bag with the cash receipts from the Tivoli Theater, changed the figures, and took what I needed. It was mounting up. Every day it was mounting up, and I needed a break to pay it back.
You're late, chum.
Well, I had to make a phone call.
I mean 3 days late. I pay off on Fridays. I like to collect on Fridays. This is Monday. Now, where's the dough?
It's right here. $54, right?
That's right, chum. But this week, remember, win or lose, Friday.
I can find another bookie, Sid.
Sure, but we all work for Charlie McManus. He'll get it anyhow, Joe, and he'll get it on Friday. Remember that.
There's nothing you can do when the ponies start running against you. 100 was easy to cover, but it got to be 200, 500, nearly 1,000.
Is that the box office total for last week?
Yeah.
Mr. Randolph wants to see it.
Why does he want to see it?
Well, he checks it every once in a while, doesn't he? Is something wrong, Joe?
Do I act as though there's anything wrong? Oh, hello, Hopper. Here's the tape, Mr. Randolph.
Mm-hmm. Well, the grosses seem a bit low.
Television. The weather, maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's the long haul that counts. Our profit for the year. We'll know that after the audit.
Audit?
Yes. Well, that's right. You weren't with us last year. We make our annual audit the end of this month, Hopper. That'll be in 8 days.
Charlie McManus speaking.
Charlie, this is Joe Harper.
Yeah, Harper.
A bet for Sid Kurt's book.
All right, shoot.
What's the line on Sturdy Duke and the Sixth?
Pay the money. You should walk in.
Well, I want a 1,000 on the nose.
Did you say $1,000, Harper?
Yeah, on the nose.
Hey, just a minute. Harper, Sid Kurtz wants you to meet him for lunch.
Oh, I can't. I got work to do.
I won't take the bet unless you talk to Sid before the race.
Well, okay. Tell him to meet me at the cafeteria.
About this bet, Joe.
Well, what's wrong with it?
Nothing. Except I'd like to have the dough before the race. That's McManus' orders.
But I haven't got it.
That's what I mean, chum. You can't afford that kind of dough.
Oh, you've got to take the...
I don't got to do anything unless McManus tells me.
Well, look, Sid, I'm going to tell you something I'm not supposed to, but... Well, it isn't my bet.
What do you mean?
I'm planting it for Mr. Randolph.
Randolph? Your boy?
Yeah.
You wouldn't kid me, would you, Harper?
No, Sid, you know me.
Yeah, I know you. All right, tell your boss he's got a bet. And the payoff day is Friday.
Sure, Sid, thanks.
I'm glad it ain't your bet. I've seen guys get themselves in a bind. They bet $2 and lose, then it's a 5, 10, 100. And it gets to be $1,000. That's where the trouble starts, Harper. Loser starts small, and sometimes he winds up betting his life.
In a moment, we continue with the second act of Suspense.
Another visit with Joe and Daphne Forsythe.
Joe, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, Daphne. Just eating a midnight snack.
What is that mess?
That mess is a liverwurst, salami, lettuce, and peanut butter delight.
Nightmare is more like it. What woke you up?
My stomach was growling. What woke you up?
You. And I was dreaming such a pleasant dream.
Oh? What?
I dreamed all our savings bonds had matured and we were cashing in.
That's kind of a dream I can appreciate.
We were planning a trip around the world, and you bought me a fur coat, and I bought you that fishing tackle you want. Oh, it was gorgeous.
Well, it doesn't have to be just a dream. Some of our savings bonds are ready to mature now.
Joe, maybe we shouldn't cash them in. They can go on earning interest, you know, and it adds up fast.
I know. That's why we started buying savings bonds, remember? With a bond a month on the payroll savings plan, our money is saved automatically.
Stop waving that sandwich under my nose. You're making me hungry.
Well, fix yourself a sandwich, ma'am. I got all the makings right over here.
All right. Move over, you bond-buying midnight maverick. I'm going to fix myself a humdinger.
And now, starring Frank Lovejoy, Act 2 of Win, Place, or Die.
The trouble with horses is they can't read. At least they don't read the racing form. Sturdy Duke finished fourth. Next day, Time Step finished out of the money. Thursday, Atomic Dust ran out. By Friday, I was into Sid Kurt's book for $4,600. I waited all day for his call, but it never came. I thought I had one more day. But when I got home, I found I was wrong.
You keep late hours, Joe.
Kurtz?
Yeah, Kurtz. The guy who gets sore when people break dates with him.
I tried to call you.
You did? Funny, I never got the message. McManus must be getting absent-minded.
Well, I tried all day. I tell you, the line was busy.
That's a pity, Joe.
They must have been booking a lot of action today to tie up your lines like that.
Well, the play was light today, Joe. Very light. We had a bad week. Book got hit hard. I'm glad you got $4,600 for me, Joe. You have got $4,600, haven't you?
No, I haven't got it.
Oh, it's too bad. I can't tell you how sorry I am, Joe. I sort of choke up. I can't find a word.
Ah, Sid, now listen to me. I'll have the dough for you tomorrow. Tomorrow, sure. It isn't my fault. They weren't my bets. You know that.
Oh, you told me.
Randolph was away all day. I even waited for him late, but he didn't even call me. He'll be in tomorrow, though. I'll get the dough for you. I'll get it.
All right, Joe. Get a good night's sleep, kid. I'll wait till tomorrow.
Oh, thank you, Sid. You're a friend.
Sure, every day. Except Friday.
Yeah. Good night, Sid.
Good night, Joe. Joe.
Yeah?
There's something I think you ought to know.
What's that?
I hate a Welcher. Used to be an elevator operator in your office building. He tried to beat me out of a $20 bet. I didn't like to do it, but I gave him a...
That's a big idea.
Just telling you the story, Joe. I hit this other guy a lot harder for a lousy $20. He was in the hospital for quite a while. See you tomorrow, Joe.
Morning, Jeannie.
Morning.
Morning, Hopper.
Morning, sir.
Oh, a day like this, I'd rather play golf than work. Tell me I'm dispensable, Jeannie.
You're not. Not today. Couple of distributors coming in, and Mr. Charlie McManus calls you.
Who? McManus? I don't know anybody named McManus. Who's he with?
I don't know. But he said you owed him $4,600.
Well, I guess I should know him then, shouldn't I? Do we have a creditor named McManus on the books, Hopper?
No, we don't, Mr. Randolph.
He wasn't very pleasant about it. He wants you to meet him tonight with the money.
What did he say? Where?
In the bar at the Tip Top Club. He said there'd be trouble if you went there by 9 o'clock. I don't like it, Mr. Randolph.
Neither do I. Jeannie, you better call Mrs. Randolph and tell her I won't be home for dinner.
You're going to meet this McManus?
Whatever he wants. I certainly should find out about it.
Well, maybe he made a mistake. He might have you mixed up with some other Randolph. Let me go talk to him.
Thanks, Hopper. But when a man says I owe him money, I prefer to talk to him myself.
In a moment, we continue with the third act of Suspense.
Another visit with Joe and Daphne Forsythe.
Joe? Joe, stop reading that paper and talk to me.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Well, I was talking to Mrs. Snyder today. You know, she's the one whose boy had 31% less cavities.
Uh-huh.
Well, she thinks that we should buy bigger savings bonds.
Uh-huh.
She says that when people can afford it, it makes more sense. Oh, she says there are a lot of different denominations. They start at $25, but then there are $50, $100, $200, and even $500 bonds.
Is that so?
And then with the ones we've already bought through the payroll savings plan, we have quite a nest egg.
Uh-huh.
Are you listening to me?
Uh-huh.
Did you know that the total accumulated compounded semi-annual interest of the Series E savings bond will amount to 93 1/3% of the original purchasing price?
Uh-huh.
I thought so. Joe, what did I say?
You said that United States savings bonds are a safe, easy way of investing.
I did.
That they help guard our country's freedom.
And?
They're the best investment in America's future.
I said something else, too.
Oh, yeah. You said that the total accumulated compounded semi-annual interest of the Series E savings bond will amount to 93 1/3% of the original purchase price.
Well, now, how did you do that?
Husband's trade secret.
And now, starring Frank Lovejoy, Act 3 of Win, Place, or Die.
It was a good thing Saturday was a half day because I had a lot of things to set up. I got out on Jeannie when we left at noon. All I needed from her was that she'd remember the phone call from McManus, and I knew she would. But I needed more from my ex-wife, Rita. I needed an alibi.
Joe.
Yes, honey.
Oh, what are you doing here, Joe?
May I come in?
Oh, sure.
Rita, I got to thinking about you and Jimmy. I brought him a couple of things. Where is he?
At a movie. He goes every Saturday afternoon with the other kids.
Well, I'm sorry I missed him, but it's nice to be alone with you for a while. 3 years is a long time, Rita.
Joe, what are you trying to say?
That I miss you. I'm sorry about what happened to us.
I couldn't do anything else, Joe. Not after the way you treated me. And you looked out.
Well, I've been sorry ever since.
You've got another girl.
Well, it's no good, honey. Nobody's any good but you. Take me back, Rita.
Oh, Joe.
Honey.
Joe, I don't know what to say. What'll I tell my family and Jimmy?
We'll tell them together tomorrow. I'll rent a car. We'll go for a Sunday drive. The three of us, okay?
Oh, yeah.
That's my girl. Rita, there's something I'd like you to do for me.
What, Joe?
Well, I'm in a little jam. I've got to straighten it out tonight. Anybody should ask you, will you say I spent the evening here? Will you? Say from about 8 until midnight.
Is that why you came, Joe? Because you're in trouble?
No, I'm not in any real trouble. I just have to settle something before we can start out together again. Will you do it for me, honey?
I'll do it, Joe. I don't know why, but I'll do it.
It was a setup, a sure thing. It couldn't miss. I went home and got the gun, a war souvenir I picked up for a few bucks. No registration to be traced. And at 8:30, I was in an alley beside the Tip Top Club when Mr. Randolph pulled up in a taxi and paid off the driver.
All right, keep the change.
Mr. Randolph.
What? Who is it?
Oh, it's me, Joe Harper.
Harper. What are you doing here?
I came down to help you out.
Help me with what? What do you have to do with it?
You come back here in the alley. I'll explain it to you. It's far enough, Mr. Randolph.
Oh, Harper, what is it? Harper! Ah!
I walked away from it before the crowd gathered. I bought a ticket and went in to see a movie. When I got out, the midnight edition of the Sunday papers were off the press. It was all there on the front page. Bookmaker arrested for murder of theater owner. Charles McManus charged with shooting. I went home. I had company again. I knew I would, but this was company I didn't have to worry about.
You knew about McManus's phone call to Mr. Randolph?
Oh, I didn't take the call, Lieutenant. I heard Jeannie. That's Miss Thorpe. Tell Mr. Randolph about it.
Randolph say he knew this McManus?
No, he denied it.
You get along with your boss?
Why, sure.
Well, your story checks out with Miss Thorpe's. Oh, by the way, she tells me that you two are engaged.
Yes, that's right.
Saturday night is a big date night. How come you two weren't together?
Oh, well, Lieutenant, I've been married before. I've got an ex-wife and a kid. I was visiting them.
Ah, I see. Well, I think you'd better come in with me.
What for?
Well, you're sort of a witness. Your testimony won't help this McManus any, and he has some bad boys on his payroll.
Oh, you mean you want to take me into protective custody?
Yes, that's right. Just for a couple of days. We've got Miss Thorpe, too.
Well, no, I don't think I'd better.
Well, you don't have to come in, of course, but it would be safer.
Well, thank you just the same, Lieutenant, but I'm all right. I'm not afraid. I wanted protective custody bad, but I couldn't take it. I'd remembered something just in time. The auditors. They'd be in Monday. Randolph's death wouldn't stop that, and the books had to balance. I went down to the office and started to work. I worked the rest of the night and all day Sunday, changing figures, erasing slowly and carefully. Then I took some petty cash slips Randolph had signed and changed the amounts. By Sunday night, I had it right on the nose. I put the books away, got my coat, and the phone. The office phone ringing on Sunday night. I didn't want to answer it, but I had to. Hello?
Oh, Joe.
Rita, what's the matter? Why are you calling me at the office?
Joe, I've been trying to get you at home all day.
Well, how did you know I was here?
The detective said you might be. He said he was going to look for you there.
What detective?
He answered the phone at your place. He asked me who I was, and I told him. Then he asked me where you were last night.
Well, you told him I was with you?
No.
Why, Rita, why?
Because I was mad at you. You promised to come today and take me and Jimmy for a ride, and you didn't show up. I didn't know, Joe. I didn't know about the murder.
And that cop Corrigan, he's on his way up here?
Oh, his name wasn't Corrigan. He said it was Kurtz. Sid Kurtz.
I dropped the phone and ran into the hall, and then I heard it, the whine of the night elevator stopping, the door sliding open.
Hello, chum.
Sid, you've got to listen to me.
What time to listen, chum? The payoff day has been changed. It ain't Friday anymore. It's now.
There was a fire axe on the wall. I tore it loose and threw it at him. It hit him and knocked him down. I turned and raced for the stairway, but he was on his feet and after me. I took the stairs 4 at a time, but he was right behind me. Only one more flight to the lobby. But I'd never make it now. An iron gate stretched across the stairs, and by the dim night bulb, I read the sign. This exit closed after 6 p.m.
Tough luck, chum. Looks like you lost another photo finish.
Sid, I'll get the money for you. I'll get it.
Oh, it ain't money anymore, chum. You bet your life, Joe. And you lost the bet. Oh, you lost the bet, Joe. You lost the bet.
Suspense, in which Mr. Frank Lovejoy starred in William N. Robeson's production of Win, Place, or Die by Joel Murcott. Supporting Mr. Lovejoy in Win, Place, or Die were Joan Banks, Ellen Morgan, Joe DeSantis, Bill Quinn, and Jack Crucian. Listen. Listen again next week when we return with Stan Freberg in Alibi Me. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Suspense has been brought to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
mystery and adventure, William N. Robeson.
One of the most unpredictable things about this business of entertainment is talent. We've seen singers become actors. Example, Frank Sinatra. And actors become singers. Example, Jeff Chandler. Steve Allen composes music. Ernie Kovacs writes a novel. Jackie Gleason conducts an orchestra. And now we present the latest talent turnabout, Stan Freberg, satirist, whom you are about to hear in a new identity, Stan Freberg, actor. Listen then as Mr. Freberg stars in Alibi Me, which begins in exactly 1 minute.
Another visit with Joe and Daphne Forsythe.
Joe. Joe.
Huh?
Come on, Joe, get up. It's 2 o'clock.
What do you want?
Joe, you got to get off that couch and fix up the yard.
Oh,
Joe.
another day. Let me sleep.
No, we've got to keep the place in good shape. Now rise and shine.
Oh, come on, Daphne. I'll do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Always tomorrow. You can't keep putting things off.
I don't. Who was it bought the savings bond to take care of our future?
Who suggested the idea?
Well, who read the story in the paper that told about bonds being a good investment because they pay off $4 for every 3?
And who pointed out the article for you to read?
Well...
Right. And now I'm pointing out the yard to you. Our bonds are guaranteed by the government. Our grass isn't. Mow.
That proves it.
What?
A little knowledge in the hands of the wrong person can be dangerous.
What does that mean?
You know one plain, simple fact. Bonds are a good investment. Now, you not only use it to get me to buy a bond a month on the payroll savings plan, but you'll probably use it against me the rest of my life.
If it gets you to mow the yard, I will. Move out, boy.
I'm going. But understand this. My next wife is going to show more respect for my hard work.
So would I if I ever saw any. Bye.
Murder.
And now, Alibi Me, starring Stan Freberg. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
This time it's a showdown. I took all I'm going to take from Julie. Tough enough to hustle a buck even without interference from him. This time it's a showdown. For real. Julie, I want to talk to you.
What? Look at you. No manners. No knock on the door. No could I come in. No good afternoon. No manners. No class. Always on the muscle.
I want to talk to you.
A little more relaxative with a voice. This ain't no candy store in Brownsville.
Now listen, Julie.
Didn't you hear what I said? Keep it quiet. Keep it class.
I want to know what's the big idea, you hear me? I just come from Pitkin Avenue. There ain't a candy store. There ain't a pool room. There ain't a bar that'll handle my punch boards anymore. Not one. We now take from Julie, they said.
They said correct.
But that's my territory. I build up the punch board business there.
I know. I watched. You hustled good. You built it up real nice for me, and I appreciate it. I already sent you the biggest lollipop in town. The biggest lollipop in town for the town's biggest sucker.
Julie, I'm warning you.
You're warning me what? What do? Give me a double whammy like in the funnies? Ever since we was kids, you hate me, I hate you, and it's like a kind of mutual life insurance.
That punch board business is mine. I need it. I need that dough.
You need dough? I'll tell you what. Here's a $50. Run down, get me a corned beef sandwich, and keep the change. Here, catch.
Julie, I told you I...
Look at the face on him. If looks could kill, huh, kid?
I'm not kidding, Julie.
Now put that phone down, Georgie.
No.
Put it down, kid. Now remember Larkin. 6 o'clock, I got to report to Larkin on my parole. They're going to know you done it. Georgie, Larkin is going to know it. Georgie!
That does it. No pulse. Nothing. Not a flush. Just one stinker less in the world. I looked down at Julie, and I remember standing next to him in Larkin's office in the precinct station house years ago. And Larkin saying,
"If one of you punks is ever knocked off, my first suspect will be the other. I better have a good alibi, whichever one of you does it. Because I'm warning you now. Once I get you down to headquarters, you're a hot seater.
I need an alibi. A good alibi. How much time do I have to set one up? Let's see, 10 after 4. And at 6, Julie's supposed to report to Larkin. Till 6. Okay, that's an hour and 50 minutes. For an alibi, I need people. Who'll alibi me? Who? Leo, the bartender down at the Shamrock. He's the one. He'll alibi me. Good old Leo.
Georgie! Oh, Georgie, Lord love you, boy. You're a sight for sore eyes. Hey, what do you have, huh? Just name it. It's on the house.
Scotch.
Sure.
Leo,
yeah, boy.
We've known each other a long time, yes?
I hate to think of the years that's passed since we met. I'm getting old, Georgie, old.
Not too old to remember a couple of favors I done for you.
Georgie, boy, not if I was to live to be 100. Hey, here, drink hearty, huh?
Thanks. Look, I want you to do a little something for me.
Oh, well, look, kid, I'm a little short right now.
No, it ain't money. It's just, well, in case you should be asked, I've been sitting here since 3:30, huh?
Yeah? Why?
What's the difference, why?
Anybody special you want me to say it to?
You gonna do it or no?
Well, look, Georgie, I got a right to know what I'm getting into. You want me for an alibi? I want to know why.
Well, let's not make a production out of it. Chances are you won't be asked. But if you are, I've been here since 3:30. You know what I mean? Okay?
Would Lieutenant Larkin maybe be one of the ones who might ask?
Could be.
Look, Georgie, you want money? I'll find you money. I don't know where, but I'll find it. You want food? I'll feed you. You want clothes? Just say the word, huh? But if Larkin is looking for you, I ain't alibying you.
In a moment, we continue with the second act of Suspense.
Memo on medals. Interesting information about our military awards and decorations. Campaign medals were authorized by Congress in 1905 for all officers and men engaged in specified wars and military action, including such widely divergent battles as the Civil War in the United States and the Boxer Rebellion in China. The Navy and Marine Corps have a special Manila Bay Medal for members of the United States Asiatic Squadron under command of Commodore George Dewey in May of 1898. The Haitian Campaign of 1915 is commemorated with a medal, as is the Santo Domingo Expedition, which suppressed a revolt in that country and preserved order during elections in 1916. The Army has its Mexican Service Medal for those involved in any of several expeditions or engagements from April 12, 1911 through June 16, 1919. There is also the Army of Cuban Pacification Medal for United States troops who, from October of 1906 to April of 1909, helped establish a stable government in that island nation. The Victory Medal was initially awarded to all United States service personnel in World War I expeditionary forces, including, for the first time, women serving in the military units. There is a story behind every American medal, a proud story of devotion to country and unselfish service to keep it strong and free.
And now, starring Stan Freberg, Act 2 of Alibi Me.
It's 4:25. We've got only 95 minutes left till 6 o'clock. When Julie don't show, Larkin goes looking. First for Julie, then for you. You gotta be ready for Larkin when he finds you, and you gotta have a pretty sensational alibi. You won't settle for less. Not him. Think, Georgie, think who you know. Who are your friends? Georgie, think who? You see? It works. A second thought and it comes to you. Joni, that's who. Good old Joni. She'll be your alibi. She's crazy about you. Always has been. Ever since that day up at Bear Mountain. Oh, let her be in. Please let her be in. I'll never ask nothing again. Just let her.
Well, look what the cat dragged.
Oh, Joni, baby.
I shouldn't talk to you, Georgie. I really shouldn't. It's more than 2 months.
You want to know why? You begin to mean too much to me, kid. So stay away from her, I says to myself. Just don't ever see her. She'll wear off, you know what I mean? But I was wrong, Joni. You mean more to me now than ever. I couldn't hold out no longer. That's why I'm here.
Oh, Georgie, baby, don't ever stay away again. No matter what the reason, don't ever stay away from me.
I'm back for good.
Oh, it's been terrible without you. All the time singing the blues, not feeling like going out or seeing anybody.
Well, that's all over now. You know what? We're going to celebrate. Tonight, we're going out into town. Dinner, a show, dancing afterward. Crazy, huh?
I got a new number I've been dying to wear.
Good. By the way, sugar, anybody been here today?
No, not a soul. I was all alone, feeling just awful until you came.
Joni, look, in case anybody asks you, not that anybody's likely to, but in case they should, you know what I mean? Do me a favor. Will you tell them I was here with you all day?
I'll tell the world you were here with me. I'll shout it from the rooftops. I don't care who hears it. I love you, Georgie. I just love you, love you, love you.
Yeah, me too. But look, Joni, in case anybody wants you to be definite, will you say I was here since 3:30 and stick to it, no matter what? 3:30?
I'll say I was with... Wait a second. What are you trying to pull?
Relax, Joni, relax.
No, Georgie.
What's the matter, kid?
What's the matter? Plenty's the matter. You dirty, no good, miserable son of a...
Joni, now listen to me.
I'm beginning to get it. Trying to sucker me to give yourself an alibi.
Joni, stop yelling. Listen to me. What I said is true. I need you.
Sure you do. So I'll say you were here with me since 3:30. You'll get no alibi from me, Mr. Wise Guy. Now pick yourself up out of that chair and get out of here.
How do you like that? You do things for people all your life, and when you want something from them, an alibi, for instance, what do you get? Nothing. That's Leo. That Jones. I'll fix them when they get out of this. How do we get out? Only an hour and 5 minutes left before Julie's due to see Lieutenant Larkin, and he ain't going to make the meet. Only 65 minutes. Who is it to give you an airtight, ironclad, cement foundation alibi? Think hard, baby. Who's around town? Who's left? Timmy. Dope, you should have thought of him first. Timmy, laying there in the hospital, of course. Good old Timmy.
Georgie. Hey, it's good to see you.
Hi, Timmy. Look, 100%. Sorry I didn't have time to bring candy or flowers, you know what I mean? How you doing?
Oh, not bad. At least I'm alive. Doctor said it was a miracle. How's things with you?
Tim, I'm leveling with you. I come up by the back stairs. I didn't want no one to see me.
Oh, yeah? In a spot, Georgie?
I need an alibi for this afternoon. Since 3:30.
Oh, you got it. In this private room. Nobody comes near it. Nurses, orderlies, I don't come unless I give out a yell. And I can have visitors any time I like. No one was here all day.
Gee, Timmy, I'll never forget you for this.
You know, you got one of the oldest alibis in the world. You were sitting up with a sick friend. Anybody doubts it, you send them to me.
Shows you. You never know who your friends are till you're in a jam.
I'll have a nurse come in so she can see it. And then you take the elevator down and ask some dumb questions so the operator will remember you.
Boy, you miss a trick, do you? Thanks again, Tim.
I'll ring for her now. Georgie.
What is it?
My ticket.
Tim, what is it? You want a drink of water? Timmy. Tim, don't die now. Tim, answer me. Say something, please. He's dead.
Another visit with Joe and Daphne Forsythe.
Joe, honey.
Uh-huh.
Joe, darling, put down the paper. I've got something important to ask you.
Okay.
Joe.
All right. What?
How many savings bonds do we have?
What kind of a question is that?
A good one. How many?
I'm not sure. I'd have to count. And I'm reading the paper. So what do you want to know for?
Have we got enough to make things comfortable for us?
Very comfortable. That's why I buy on a payroll savings plan. A bond a month will give us quite a nest egg for the future.
Enough for a college education?
Eventually. But who's going to college?
Our children, silly.
We don't have any yet.
Oh?
What do you mean, oh?
Better buy some more bonds, honey.
Daphne, you mean?
We've got a new investment.
How about that?
Bonds, honey.
Daphne, you mean?
We've got a new investment.
How about that?
And now, starring Stan Freberg, Act 3 of Alibi Me.
I'm sunk. It's 5:06 and I'm sunk. In 10 minutes maybe Larkin will be looking for me and they got no alibi. So I've come home. So I'm walking up the stairs. And I hear a sound. My landlady, Mrs. Ettinger, is nailing down linoleum in the hallway. Good old Mrs. Ettinger.
Oh, hello, Georgie. You just come in?
Yeah, but if anybody's to ask you, Miss Ettinger, especially Larkin, you tell him I've been in all afternoon. Understand?
Larkin? Lieutenant Larkin?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that, Georgie. I won't lie to that cop.
Oh, yes, you will. You'll tell Larkin I'm in my room all day.
No, I won't.
Mrs. Ettinger, you don't tell Larkin I'm in all day? I tell him about Charlotte.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't, Mrs. Ettinger?
Please, Georgie, I don't want no trouble.
Listen, you'll be in plenty of trouble if Larkin hears about your daughter lifting a fur jacket right out of a department store.
I made Charlotte give it back. I marched her into the store myself. We give it back to the manager.
Sure you did. But a crime's a crime, whether a store prosecutes or not.
Oh, Georgie, please, she's only 15. She's a good kid. Her life would be ruined. You wouldn't tell me.
Now, Mrs. Ettinger, what's there to cry about? I'll keep my mouth shut just like you want. And you'll open your mouth just like I want, and everything will be fine. If Larkin asks you, I wasn't out of my room all afternoon. Okay?
You won't tell him about Charlotte?
It's up to you, Mrs. Ettinger.
All right, Georgie. All right. I'll say you was in all day.
And there's my alibi. Safe, sealed, and delivered. The best alibi in the world. 6:15. It won't be long now. I gotta watch myself when Larkin's here. Just the right attitude. Not too anxious, not too casual. Just right. Yeah? Well, who is it?
Open up, Josie. It's me, Larkin.
Lieutenant Larkin? Well. What a surprise. And to what do I owe this great pleasure?
Remember I once told you, Georgie, if anything happened to Julie or to you, my first pickup would be the other one?
I remember. So what? Yeah. Oh, you mean Julie is... He's been made dead. No kidding. Well, what do you know? And you've come to offer me your shoulder to cry on.
You're not surprised?
I'm not the only guy who hated Julie, you know. Tell you what, let me know who did it. When you find out, I'll contribute a sawbuck to his defense.
Save your money, Georgie. You might need it.
Yeah? How come?
Remember I told you at the same time you'd better have a good alibi? Because once I got you down at headquarters, I'd prove you did it.
The words strike a bell.
Give, Georgie. Where were you today?
I was nowhere.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. I was right in here all afternoon.
Can you prove it?
Well, it ain't easy to prove you were somewhere alone all day.
Can you prove you were here?
Well, I didn't see anybody except Oh, yeah. Mrs. Ettinger, my landlady.
Yeah? All right. Let's hear her version.
All right. Mrs. Ettinger? Mrs. Ettinger?
What is it?
Come in here a minute, will you?
Oh, now what? It's always something. What do you want, Georgie?
This is Lieutenant Larkin.
I won't keep you long, Mrs. Ettinger. Just a couple of questions. Were you in all day?
The whole day.
Was Georgie in all day?
Yeah, sure, he was in.
You're positive.
I'm positive.
What makes you so positive?
What makes me so positive? I cleaned his room, that's what makes me so positive. And I pressed a suit for him later, that's what makes me so positive. And when I was sweeping the hall, his door was open and I saw him. How positive can you get?
You're prepared to swear to that in a court of law?
Go ahead, Mrs. Ettinger. Swear. Swear by your daughter's head.
I swear.
All right. Thank you. You can go.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
That's it then, Georgie.
Meaning?
Meaning your alibi stinks as far as I'm personally concerned. But for the record, it lets you off the hook.
You hate that, don't you? You'd like to hang the big one on me, wouldn't you? Yeah, who is it?
Lightning Delivery Service got a package for George Lennox.
Come in. Who is it from?
Mr. Moore, Mr. Julie Moore.
Julie?
Open it, Georgie. Go on. Go on, open it. I want to see what Julie sent you.
Well, okay. It's only a lollipop.
I never seen such a big one.
All right, who asked your opinion? Beat it. Go on, get out of here. What are you waiting for?
What do you think he's waiting for, Georgie? Stake the kid.
Stake him? What am I, the mint? You stake him.
Okay, cheapskate, okay. Keep your lousy tip. Fine thing. I'm here twice this morning and 3 times this afternoon, and you're not in. 5 times up and down them stairs and not even a nickel.
Well, you shut up.
Here you are, kid. Here's your tip.
Thanks, Mac. A whole $1. Thanks.
Don't mention it, kid. You earned it.
Oh, thanks. I almost forgot. There's a message goes with the lollipop. To the biggest sucker in town, from Julie. That's all there is to the message.
It's enough. Get your hat and coat, Georgie.
Suspense, in which Mr. Stan Freeberg starred in William N. Robeson's production of Alibi Me by Third Jeffrey, adapted for suspense by Walter Brown Newman. Supporting Mr. Freeberg in Alibi Me were Kathy Lewis, Geraldine Wall, Vic Perrin, Jerome Thor, Jack Crucian, Eddie Marr, and Dick Beals. Listen again next week when we return with another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
And now, Winner Lose All, starring John Lund. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Las Vegas, the sucker city. The land of the money cow. And in my pocket I had a permit to milk it. A system to beat the wheel. But first I had to convince one of the farmers tending the cow that I wasn't going to take too much. And that wasn't going to be easy. After about a week of nosing around, I decided on a place I was going to hustle. The owner was a guy named Carlin. Walter Carlin. And he wasn't doing as well as he wanted to, but then... Who is?
Come in.
Mr. Collins?
That's right. Who are you?
My name is Bob Richards. I got a proposition for you.
Goodbye, Mr. Richards.
Now listen to me for one minute.
I said goodbye, Mr. Richards.
But I want to give you something for nothing.
Nobody ever gave anybody something for nothing.
I will. Guaranteed.
All right. You got 1 minute. Make your pitch.
When was the last time you had a spread in the New York Times?
Ah, come on, son. Quit playing. This is a small place compared to the joints out in the strip.
And you're not only small, but your business is way off. Isn't it, Mr. Collins?
I said I'd give you a minute to make a pitch, not to discuss my business.
That's part of my pitch. I can put this place on the front page of every newspaper in the country.
Keep talking. You have 30 seconds.
Okay. I've got a system for roulette.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I know everybody's got some kind of a system, but I got one that'll win. Now, the only trouble is when the house finds somebody's got a winning system, the table's closed after a while, or the betting's limited. Now, here's my pitch. You let me win $200,000.
$200,000?
Let me finish. You let me win $200,000. It'll take about a month to 40 days. All I want for my share is $50,000 in cash. And you've got yourself $1 million worth of publicity.
You expect to walk in here, take $200,000 out, then return $150 when you're finished? I wouldn't even trust myself to do that.
I didn't expect to take the $200,000 out. Now, that's too tempting.
Huh?
The house can keep my winnings for me until such time as I decide to quit, which in this case will be $200,000.
I don't know.
Remember those two college kids and what they did for that joint in Reno? And they only went for a couple of weeks and a few grand.
You're sure your system works?
What do you care? If it works, you're in. If it doesn't, I lose my own dough.
All right. On one condition.
Name it.
Stretch it out to 2 months, and you got a deal. I can really use that kind of publicity.
Okay.
When do you want to start?
Tonight.
Fine. Oh, just one more thing, Richards.
Yeah?
Be a smart boy. Don't try anything that might get you into trouble.
Well, the only thing that could possibly get me in trouble is your $200,000. And how could I possibly get my hands on it? See you later, Mr. Collins. After I finish this trick here, honey, we'll head for Rio, Buenos Aires, Monte Carlo, the whole circuit. Everywhere we go, we'll pick up a bundle like this one.
No, Bobby, you are the clever one.
Well, naturally, I picked you, didn't I?
Bobby.
Yeah?
When do we get married?
As soon as I turn this trick.
Well, why not now?
Because I want the South America trip to be a honeymoon. Okay?
Okay.
Well, I gotta get going.
Maybe I'll drop in later and watch you.
No.
Well, why not?
Stay out of there. I don't want anybody to know about you.
Well, what's the matter? You ashamed of me?
Oh, of course not. But I want them to think I'm a lone wolf. It's safer that way.
Be there, baby. Be there. 24, Blackie.
That'll cost you $1,080, Dodie.
Yes, sir, Mr. Richards. You've got a real hot streak going. A real hot streak.
Well, that's it for now, Stoney.
Be back tomorrow, Mr. Richards?
Why not? This first week is only the beginning.
00 green.
Baby. I guess I'm just lucky, Stoney. Just lucky.
Here are the figures for the week, Mr. Collins. You want detail or a quick rundown?
Just a quick rundown.
Okay. This is for the third week of operation since the kid came in with his system.
Mm-hmm.
He's into the house for about $83,000.
And
in that same period, our gambling gains have doubled. The bar is 500% over, and see right here, the morning business is almost triple what it was 4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's another magazine crew coming in to do a layout this evening, too.
Well, take care of them. Give them everything they want, and don't let them spend a dime.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheap enough for the publicity we're getting.
Is that you, Bobby?
Yeah.
Hi. How'd you do tonight?
Oh, not bad. $9,000.
How much is that altogether?
About 170,000.
Oh, then another week or so and it's over.
Annie, it's over as of tomorrow night.
What do you mean?
I'm taking it. All of it. Tomorrow night.
Oh, what about your deal with Carla?
Deals are for suckers. I know how I can get away with all of it. But you've got to help.
Oh, Bobby, I'm scared.
Nothing to be scared of. Now, if you want to help me, say so now. If not, you'd better pack.
Sure, I'll help, but I'm scared.
All right. I want you to buy a good used car tomorrow.
Well, why? We've got a car.
Will you stop arguing and listen to me?
Sure, Bobby.
Okay. Now, you leave here at 9:30 tomorrow evening. Drive north on Route 95.
Mm-hmm.
5 miles out of town, you turn around and park, heading toward town. When I leave, I'll drive to the same spot. Then I transfer to your car, and we head right back through town to L.A.
And then?
We're on our way to South America, baby. Free and clear. You couldn't really call it a gamble. It was a cinch bet. And the power of the press cinched it. I tipped Wally Campbell of National News Service to be at the joint that night with a photographer, and I was all set to make my play.
All right, you better bet this one, Mr. Richards.
Huh? Oh, yeah. 20 on black, 10 even, and 10 on the first 12.
Thank you. All bets down. Here we go.
Hiya, Bob. Oh, hiya, Wally. I'll be with you in a minute. Oh, by the way, I want to introduce you to Mr. Collin. He owns this place. Mr. Collin.
Yeah?
This is Wally Campbell of the National News Service. Oh, how do you do?
Hello, Mr. Collin. Hey, black even.
Well, I guess that's it.
Taking a break, Richard?
No, Mr. Collin. No, I quit.
Huh?
I figure the house owes me exactly, let's see, with what I have here, 2, 3, 350, exactly $179,550.
But
I want the croupier to have $550, so that leaves a round figure of $179,000.
Well, look.
I want it in cash, and I want it now. Wally, you can start taking pictures anytime now.
All right. Hank, come on over here and set up, will you?
Tony, the table is closed.
Yes, sir.
What are you trying to pull, Richard?
I'm not trying to pull anything. I just want my money, that's all.
Why, you lousy double-crossing chiseler, I'll take...
Wally, over here, will you?
What do you want?
Mr. Collin wants to make a statement.
Huh?
Go ahead, Mr. Collin. Make a statement.
Well, I really don't have much to say except...
Except this proves that your wheels are completely honest. Isn't that right, Mr. Collin?
Yes, that's right. And Mr. Richards here proved it.
Yeah. My money, Mr. Collin? Where's my money? In cash?
Tony?
Yes, sir.
Get $179,000 from the cashier.
Yes, sir.
Now, look, the two of you stand in front of the wheel by that pile of chips there, will you? No, a little to your right, Bob.
Here?
Yeah, that's it. That's fine.
You sure you know what you're doing, Richards?
I knew when I came here.
I won't quit looking, you know that.
Sure, but you won't find me.
Now, look, pick up a handful of chips, Mr. Carlin, and give it to Bob, will you?
I'll find you.
Yeah, that's right.
I wouldn't bet on it.
I would. In fact, I'm betting $179,000 on it.
And now, starring John Lund, winner lose all.
It was easy. Almost too easy. I found myself with $179,000 done up in a nice gray canvas bag like they use in the bank. Now all I had to do was meet Annie, change cars, and I had it made. Annie's a nice kid. A $50,000 type kid. Not a $179,000 type. But for now, I needed her. For now. Maybe later I wouldn't.
That's you, Bobby?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, I began to get worried.
Well, I'm here. Now get going.
Is everything okay?
I said let's get going.
All right.
I'm getting into the back seat. I'm going to stay down on the floor. Drive easy and legal, and as soon as we're on the other side of town, let me know. Till then, don't say anything and don't look back. Just drive.
north of town, about 5 miles out. I guess he got into another car there.
Well, then where'd he go?
Name it and you can have it. Tonopah to Reno, Barstow to L.A., Purdue to El Centro to Mexico. Mm-hmm. Well, what do we do now? Find him. Nobody suckers me, nobody. Call the boys in Reno, Carson City, Frisco, L.A. Tell them I want Bob Richards. Tell them I want him bad. And alive.
Bobby? Bobby? Hey, Bobby boy, where are you? Bobby! Hello?
Hello. This is the Apex Travel Service. We're calling Mr. Richards to confirm his reservation for one on the 8:55 Transpolar Flight 358 to Paris.
Pardon me?
Mr. Richards, his reservation for tonight.
Oh, for two?
No, for one.
I said, for who?
Oh, Mr. Richards.
What room did you want?
214.
Well, this is room 212. You got the wrong room.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, Bobby boy. Bobby boy, what a rat you are.
Annie. What are you doing here? I told you to stay in your own room.
Yeah, but I got worried.
About what?
About you.
Oh, I can take care of myself now. Hello. Yes? Yes. Right. Thank you.
Who is that?
The airport reservations desk, confirming our reservations for tomorrow's flight to South America.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, 9 a.m. Now go back to your room and I'll see you on the plane tomorrow. I'll wait till the last minute before I board. Just playing it safe, you know?
Bobby, where's the money?
In a brand new suitcase stashed in one of those 24-hour lockers at the airport.
You don't miss a trick, do you?
I can't afford to, honey. I'll be a good girl. Run along. I'll see you on the plane tomorrow morning.
So long, Bobby.
So long, Annie. See you tomorrow.
Yes, Bobby. Tomorrow. Operator, I want to make a person-to-person call to Mr. Walter Carlin in Las Vegas. Mr. Sutton, please hurry. Oh, why did you have to be such a rat, Bobby?
And now, starring John Lund, Act 3 of Winner Lose All.
Flight 358 for Paris. Please report to Customs Gate 21. Say there, pardon me, but is this Customs Gate 21?
Yeah.
Are you taking the Transpolar?
Yeah?
Business?
Combination.
Uh-huh. Say, it's a nice suitcase you have there.
Thanks.
I'll bet you it holds a lot of money.
What's that?
Might even hold $179,000.
Why, you?
Right now, you're lucky. Don't stretch it. Get on that plane and you're dead.
What do you want me to do?
Now, that's your business. Just don't get on that plane.
You want me to go back to Vegas, don't you?
Well, now, sir, that's up to you.
And if I don't?
That's up to you, too.
Let me in, quick.
What's the matter, Bobby? You look pale.
They found me.
Who found you?
Carlin. I don't know how, but he found me.
Where'd they find you, Bobby? At the airport?
Yeah, they found me. What did you say?
They found you at the airport, didn't they, Bobby? Getting on the Paris plane, just as I told them to.
Why, you
Mr. Carlin was very glad to know where to find you. $5,000 glad.
I'll break your neck.
No, you won't, Bobby. Mr. Carlin sent me a bodyguard, too. He's in the next room. Of course, he isn't as clever as you. But what good is clever? Do something clever now, Bobby. Better give Mr. Carlin his money, or bang, you're dead.
You got a bus that goes to Mexico?
Not direct. You change at San Diego for San Isidro, and you get a bus San Isidro to Tijuana.
Fine. How soon does it leave?
Oh, about an hour. 11:55 p.m.
Okay, give me a...
Bang, you're dead. Get on that bus and you're dead.
Leave me alone.
Like I said, don't stretch your luck.
Taxi. Taxi. Where do you want to go, mister? Take me to Las Vegas.
Hey, that's more than 300 miles. Plus your bundle.
I don't care what it costs. It's not my money. Well, here it is, Carlin. I spent about $1,000.
No, Bobby boy, I don't want it this way.
What?
Not this way.
Well, then how?
Go downstairs to one of the roulette wheels and start playing.
What, with your money?
That's right. But don't bet more than $50 at one time. You've got a system, lose with it. Lose the whole 178 grand.
But that'll take months.
That's right, Bobby boy. Months. But think of the publicity I'll get.
Suspense, in which Mr. John Lund starred in William N. Robeson's production of Win or Lose All by Ross Murray. Supporting Mr. Lund in Win or Lose All were Rita Lynn, Lou Merrill, Eddie Marr, Jack Crucian, and Sam Pierce. Listen. Listen again next week when we return with another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Starring Jackie Kelp. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
It's sundown. That's why the town looks like a ghost town. There are folks around, all right, hiding behind door cracks and windows. Here's what they're hiding. There's Kirby Hunsaker coming out of the saloon at one end of town. And there's Ben Ford coming from the livery stable at t'other. Walking toward each other, slow. Right hands hanging an inch from their gun holsters. In a minute, one of them will be dead. Kirby Hunsaker or Ben Ford. Little Ben. Nothing but a baby when I picked him up off the desert 14 years ago.
Hold up a minute, Sam. Hey, what is it? Over by that dried-out water hole. Yeah, looks like a man. Yep. Hey, it's a man right enough. Come a long way for water and come to the wrong place. Give me a hand with it. He alive? Just about. Good. What? Yeah. Where are they? Where? Why I don't water. He's gone.
Yeah. Well, I'd better find his wife and kid. If there's anything left to find. There was something left. A sun-baked wagon, a dead woman, and a 5-year-old boy. His face was burned and his lips cracked with fever. He didn't cry. He didn't even whimper. And he didn't talk. We gave him water and he took it. Then he sat there, staring away into the desert as we buried his mother.
Hey, what do we do about him?
We'll take him with us, I reckon.
Nobody but us on the range. Nobody to take care of him.
There ain't nobody here either. We'll do what we can. He'll grow, or he'll die.
jawbone kid. By the time he was 12, he could handle a man's work. And I had a feeling for him. A feeling like he was my own. He did some strange things that nobody else could understand. Like riding off in the desert and coming back with his face blazing and his lips split. He couldn't have said why, but he was fighting back at the desert because it had robbed him. It was like a cactus was growing in him. And I couldn't get to the root to pull it out. Until one night at supper.
Dan?
Yeah, Bill?
Do I have any money?
Well, I reckon you do, boy. You work for your keep.
How much do I have, Dan?
Well, this is your home. Everything that's here is yours.
I want my own horse.
I see. Well, fair enough. Take your pick.
The black coat with the star in his face. I want him.
All right, boy. You've got yourself a horse. Yes, he got himself a horse. It was more than that to him. It meant he had something that was his, come flood of thunder. Something in the world that belonged to him and nobody else. It gave him a reason for being alive. Pulled the roots out of that cactus inside of him. And he didn't ride out into the desert anymore. Ben had had the horse for almost a year when Kirby Hunsaker came. He rode in one afternoon while Ben was in town with a buckboard picking up supplies.
Oh!
Howdy. Howdy. Your horse looks like he could use a rest, stranger.
Needs shoeing and he'll be all right. I'll trade him and cash for a fresh horse.
Well, nobody's going to ride a horse of mine like that.
I said I'd trade him. That means I'm going to trade him. The name's Kirby Hunsaker.
Kirby Hunsaker. A name that was drifting all over the West with a trail of blood behind it. He had a face like a woman, and eyes like a steel trap. And there was no glove in his right hand. A gunfighter.
If you're thinking it over, you're wasting my time.
Way to do it, Dan. All right, Hunsaker.
I'll take the black with the star on his face. Put a rope on him.
No, not that one. He ain't mine.
I ain't asking whose he is.
Well, any other horse. Any one you want. Even trade.
Get that black. And keep your hand away from that gun.
Dan, do what he says. You can give young Ben the Palomino.
Ben came back and I told him. He hadn't cried when I found him in the desert. And he didn't cry now. But there was something in his eyes. It was hate. Hate like a pure white flame.
I don't want the Palomino.
He's the best horse on the place.
Not to me. He isn't mine.
Why, you own him.
Sam. I tried to save him for you, Ben.
I know.
You can have your pick of anything in the corral.
I don't ever want another horse.
Well, when you see something you do want, you just holler. It's yours. That's a promise.
Anything, Dan?
Anything.
All right, then. I'll take your gun.
What's that?
You promised, Dan.
I promise. Here. It's yours.
Good night, Dan.
Good night, Ben.
Why, in all my days, I never heard of such a lame-brained thing as giving a kid
He'd
like
have gotten one someplace sooner or later. And if I know him right, it'd best be sooner.
Hunsaker?
Yeah, Hunsaker.
Answer. Good thing he's only 13. When he's grown, we can hope for him to get better sense.
You're wasting your hope, Sam. I'm hoping that Kirby Hunsaker gets killed before Ben's grown.
In a moment, we continue with the second act of Suspense.
The familiar theme music of O'Brien's Symphonic Colors serves to remind you of O'Brien's new Colors of the Year, each giving you more color per color. Fresh new paint colors. O'Brien's Symphonic Colors are just what you want for your home this season, inside and out. Take a look around your neighborhood. See how important color is these days. Then select longer-lasting O'Brien exterior paints. You'll want O'Brien's Symphonic Colors of the Year for inside your home, too. Every one decorator approved to match your blend with the latest fabrics and furnishings. The secret of this perfect harmony is the extra pigments which give O'Brien's Symphonic Colors their unusual depth and richness. Ask your O'Brien paint dealer, listed in the yellow pages of your phone book, for your free color chip folder. Then treat your home to O'Brien's Symphonic Colors of the Year.
And now, starring Jackie Kelp, Act 2 of Sundown.
A boy and a gun. They were together night and day. He slept with it next to his cheek, and you could see the red mark of the barrel on the side of his face when he'd get up in the morning. And when he wasn't working, we'd often come across him in some arroyo in the foothills. Look, Sam, he's at it again.
He ain't shooting at cans no more. What's that he's using for a target?
It's a figure of a man marked off on the rock.
Looks like a piece of paper where the head ought to be.
Your eyes are going back, Sam. It's a picture. One of the Express Company reward posters for Kirby Hunsaker. It went on like that for 6 years, until the bullets were hitting close and fast. Then I'd catch him in the barn, practicing the draw. Start to wear his gun belt low on the hip, and his right hand hung by his side, sun-scarred, like a claw. The rest of it had changed, too. He wasn't a boy no more. He was a man. We heard more and more about Kirby Hunsaker. His name got to be one of the three mentioned most when the talk in the saloons turned to gunslingers. Jim Dunn, Boaz Watson, and Kirby Hunsaker. All bound to meet someday to find out who'd be a freak faster on the draw. Then he had to be there the night a stray cowpuncher stopped to rest his horse.
Oh, Bobby, thank you.
Thanks. I reckon I will.
Hey, your horse sure needed water. You must have come a long way.
From Goldfield. Riding lucky, though. I come through Flagstaff just in time to see the fight. What fight? You mean you ain't heard? I must have been riding fast. Never seen a gunfight like it.
Who was in it?
Well, two of the best. Big Jim Dunn, Kirby Hunsaker.
Who won?
Well, Hunsaker. Dunn never cleared his holster.
Hunsaker beat Jim Dunn?
Yeah. Wish I could have stayed in Flagstaff. Boaz Watson someplace around, too. As soon as he gets wind of it, he'll be on Hunsaker's trail for a showdown.
Dunn never cleared his holster, and the man ain't born that can outdraw Hunsaker.
Boaz Watson thinks he can. He's been itching for the chance.
The chance he ain't gonna get.
Ben, where are you going?
Where I gotta go, Dan.
Flagstaff?
You know it. And don't try to stop me.
Trying to stop him would have been like trying to stop an avalanche. But he couldn't stop me from following. I was an hour behind him when I reached Flagstaff on the third morning. Ben wasn't hard to find. He'd left a trail of questions behind him. I caught up with him in the last saloon on the street. Still asking.
Well, bartender?
Reckon he comes in sometimes.
When?
Usually about an hour from now. Noon.
Good. I'll wait.
You going to buy me a drink, Ben?
If that's what you came for, Dan.
It's been a rough trailing you, boy. Men and horses ain't meant to be pushed that hard.
I was in a hurry.
Well, maybe we can take it easier going back. Maybe if we left right now, we could camp out someplace tonight, like we used to.
Ask me later, Dan. This is something I gotta do first.
Sam and I saw Big Jim Dunn in a gunfight once. He was like lightning then. But Hunsaker killed him.
Don't worry, Dan. I'm good with this gun.
I hope you're good enough.
That's something we'll know soon. At least I got here before Boaz Watson.
moment, we continue with the third act of Suspense.
But our side, die. You never saw colors shine so true. Easy and quick for Rich and for you. We're the newest colors right now today. Where there's Rich, there's always a way.
Rit High Fidelity Color works wonders for everything from clothes to carpets. Take your scatter rugs, for instance. When you pop them in the washing machine for a spring cleanup, it's easy as can be to renew their color, too. Just wash them clean, then dye them bright with Rit. You get vivid reds, bright blues, warm browns, all manner of rich, glowing colors with nothing more than hot tap water plus the action of your washer. So don't just clean house this spring. Get Rit, that high-fidelity dye, and give your home the wonderful lift of color. Remember, that's R-I-T, Rit. Only 25 cents a color.
And now, starring Jackie Kelk, Act 3 of Sundown.
Ben wouldn't drink, and he wouldn't leave. So we waited. Then I heard the door swing. We'd had a couple of times. Only this time it was different. Talk around the tables cut out. The bartender's hands tightened around the glass and wax. Every head in the place turned toward the door. It was Kirby Hunsaker. He and Ben had never seen each other before. Somehow they knew each other. Their eyes caught and held. Two long ones locked together.
I heard somebody's looking for me. In case anybody don't know me. The name's Kirby Hunsaker.
I'm looking for you.
Take your piece.
A long time ago, when I couldn't do anything about it, you stole a horse from me.
You calling me a horse thief?
That's what I'm calling you.
You got nerve, kid. Name your price, I might pay it.
Now, you'll pay it. I set the price a long time ago. Your life.
You got a gun? Dig for it.
You move first, Hunsaker.
I'm giving you an edge. Better take it, kid.
No. No, I want to give you a little time, Hunsaker. If I draw first, then you got to move without thinking. But I want you to think. I want you to think and worry and decide.
While you're talking, I might get tired of waiting.
You won't draw fast enough, Hunsaker. So I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going down to the livery stable to take a nap. At sundown, I'm coming back up the street. I don't want anybody on it. You better run, Hunsaker. Or shoot me in the back while I'm going out that door. Because if you don't, I'm going to kill you.
It's sundown now. And here I am, in the window of the hotel. And there he is in the street. Him and Kirby Hunsaker walking toward each other. And the town is so quiet you can hear their steps in the dirt. 100 yards, 75, 50. The fingers of their right hands clawed like hooks, almost touching their gun butts. Doesn't even seem like the sun is moving anymore. Like even the shadows are glued there to the ground, waiting for one of those hands to move. Because when it comes, it'll come fast.
Better dig, Hunsaker. Punk. I'm going to collect for that horse.
You'll collect.
Ben, you all right, boy?
I'm all right. Let's walk.
Yeah. It's all over now, boy. We'll saddle up and go home.
It's the blacksmith. Yes, our horses are ready.
Express rider came in just after you left the stable. He said Boaz Watson is riding in. He ran into him on the trail. You going to stay and meet him?
Me? Well, I got no quarrel with Boaz Watson.
Looks like you will have. He was mighty keen on meeting up with Hunsaker. Looks like you've taken over Kirby's place.
Dan, what'll I...
That's what I was afraid of, Ben. You killed Hunsaker. Now every fool, every drunk, every gunslinger looking for a reputation will try to get it by trying to kill you.
I can't go back with you now, can I? I can't ever go back. From now on, I've got to fight or run.
What are you going to do, Ben?
Get to the border, I guess. Go as far as I can, but I can't go any further.
I'll come with you. I've been holed up in one place too long anyhow.
No, Dan. I got to go alone. This is where we split. Right now. Thanks to everything. I'll never forget you. Goodbye, Dan.
Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye, boy. Goodbye, son.
Subway Stop, starring Skip Homeyer. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. The party, if you could call it that, was strictly stag. Just a bunch of guys I'd gone to college with. Everybody in old clothes wearing a weekend stubble. Sort of a bull session with booze. And even though we all had to go to work the next morning, it was past 3 o'clock when we broke up. Mike and John walked me down the empty street to the subway station. The city's strange in the middle of the night. Strange and unreal. It seemed to belong to the tipsy three of us. Its streets empty save for a couple of characters standing at the corner. The stoplights blinking in automated precision, controlling the traffic that wasn't there. Hold it, you guys.
What? What's the matter?
Hey, what's happened to the elevator? It's missing. Somebody's stolen it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, who stole the L? Come on, hold up. Who stole it?
Hey, you guys here? The L's gone under the ground.
What are they, ashamed of it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, poor old L. Oh.
Hey, how do I get my train?
Hey, dig a hole.
You do?
Yeah.
Where? Right here. Next to this lamppost. Move aside, Sonny.
Hey, watch who you're pushing, Fatso.
Sorry, I didn't mean to push you, Pimples.
Wise guy, huh?
Tell him, Goober.
I'll tell him, Din.
You better get on your way, Sonny, before I turn your end. There's a curfew against you teenagers been out this late.
You boys better go on home.
Who asked you, Pop?
Yeah.
You punks better blow.
Well, you keep out of this banana nose.
Oh, you get up. I can drop you again.
Take it easy, John. Don't you see the little boys are tired of playing with the big boys?
You're going to take that, Goober?
Shut up, Din. Let's go.
Kids, they like to act tough, but they're not really. You know, I was the same way.
Well, what makes you think you've changed?
Right. I guess I haven't changed. I'm just an older teenager, that's all.
Uh-oh. Hey, look what's heading right for us.
Good. Tonight ain't our night.
Say, you fellas care to help a guy out? You hit the wrong guy.
Yeah, we're flat, too. We're going to ask you for a dime.
Please. Go on, beat it.
Please. You heard my father. Scram.
Anything would help, a nickel, a dime.
How much wine can you buy for a dime?
I ain't going to spend it on wine, honest. Come off it. Take off.
Oh, stop picking on him, Mike. Here, maybe I got some change. See, I got 62 cents left after that last poker hand. I need 15 cents for the subway and 15 for the bus.
That leaves 32 cents. Oh, 32 cents help you?
Thanks, mister. Thanks. And God bless you.
One of those winos hits you every second in this neighborhood.
The neighborhood's changing. It's going downhill. Is this where I catch my train?
Yep. Downstairs.
Okay. I better take off.
You're coming over my place on Tuesday, right?
Sure, Johnny. Oh, listen, thanks for the party. I had a great time.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
Ooh. Hey, you stairs keep still. Oh, the subway's coming. I better hurry. Let me have a token.
How many?
One. Oh, just a second. I can't find my money.
How many?
I told you.
There, please.
Here you are.
Hey, hold it! Hey, hold it!
Oh, nuts. Hey, lady, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Maybe it was the stale smell of the subway, or the excitement of the near fight. Maybe it was all I'd had to drink. The men's room was located at the dimly lit far end of the platform. I ran to it. Afterwards, I felt better. I was washing the bad taste out of my mouth when the door opened. I turned, and there were the two teenagers.
Hold it, Pops.
Hey, get away from the door.
Just step back, Pops.
You ain't going nowhere.
Well, what do you want?
Are you listening to the little man, Din?
I'm listening.
Don't sound so tough, does he?
He ain't got the big boys around.
And he needs the big boys. Don't you, Pops?
He needs them.
'Cause he's a small one, ain't you, little Pops?
Yeah, little Pops.
He's a small one.
Real small.
Like as not, I could break him up myself.
Easy.
Like as not, you could too, huh, Din?
Easy.
Look, I'm not asking for trouble, but if you guys want it...
You gonna give me a hard time, Pops?
Get him, Goob.
I'll get him. I've been choked, huh, Pops? See this, Pops? Right here, under your eyeball. That's right. That's a knife.
Use it, Gooba. Cut him up a little.
Look at him, Din. Oh, Pops is a sweating and a sweating.
Go, man, go.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Look out, Gooba.
Oh, you hit me, will you? Hit his arm, Din. For Christ's sake, hit his arm.
Yeah.
There, now. Once upon a time, Pops, there was this little boy, and he didn't like his Pops. Because his Pops spoke bad like. And old Goober didn't like that. Come on, Din, come on, get in. No, man, don't use your feet. That ain't kosher. Use your knees.
For a long time. I knew I was lying on the floor of the men's room in the subway. I couldn't remember why or how I got there. Then I heard the door open. And far off, as if in a well, I heard a voice.
Looky what we got here. What's the matter, son? What's wrong? You had too much. It's too bad. Let's just look for your wallet, See if we find out where you live, son. No money. Now, that's not so good, son. Now, here, let's just turn you over. No, let's see. See, nothing in that pocket. Cigarette lighter. Cigarettes. Half back. You smoke too much, son. I'll just keep these. Now, let's see what's in the other pocket. No, what's the matter, son? I ain't going to hurt you. Let's see. 15 cents. I'm kind of disappointed in you, boy, but that watch might make up for it. Let's see it. Do you mind if I take it off, Good. Thank you. Oh, here comes my train, son, but before I leave, a piece of advice for you. Don't drink. It ain't good for you, son. Help!
It was a long time before I came to. I was awakened by the stench of the room and the cold stab of the floor. I had to get up. I had to get out of that room. Somehow I pulled myself up and staggered to the door. I opened it. As I did, I could feel sharp, shooting pains cut across my abdomen. I couldn't breathe. Each breath was like a cutting jab in the ribs. I realized I was badly hurt. I should keep still. I knew if I stayed in that room, I'd die. The platform was empty, completely empty. I leaned against the wall, waiting for someone to help me. I heard the subway train coming. People would be getting off. They'd help. Slowly pulled myself toward the center of the platform. Help me.
Huh?
Mister, please.
I ain't got any money. Go on, beat it.
Mister.
Go on, beat it for it. Call a cop.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No, don't grab me. I'm hurt.
Huh? Yeah, well, you better take care of yourself. Look, I gotta go. Sorry, buddy. I gotta get home.
I supported myself against the cold blank wall. I made my way to the cashier's cage. She couldn't see me because the windows were dusty and clouded with grime. I tried to shout, but I couldn't. I tapped on the window. I tapped for a long time before she noticed me.
Huh? What do you want?
Help.
I can't hear a word you're saying. Come over here by the turnstile.
Help, please.
Oh, it's you again. What are you bothering me for?
Please.
Pick up, you're mumbling. Too drunk to answer, huh? Look, mister, if you don't want nothing, don't block the way. Did you hear me? Get out of the way. Yes, ma'am. How many? 2, please.
Oh, please help me.
Hey, what's the matter with him? Drunk. Looks funny hanging over the turnstile like that. Ought to call a cop, I guess.
Say, look at the blood at his lip.
Yeah, it fell down probably.
You sure? He looks hurt.
I wouldn't go near him. I'm used to his kind. You should see the place I work in. I'll bet.
Hey, mister, hey, you hurt? Hey, you don't sound good. Maybe you should call a cop.
I don't want no trouble. As long as he don't make trouble for me, I won't make no trouble for him.
Yeah, but don't you understand? This guy's hurt bad.
Nothing ever happens to those kind of guys.
Oh, here comes my train. Maybe you should call a doctor, lady.
What, for that bum? Don't be silly.
Can't find any wallet, no identification.
I told you, it's just a bum.
Yeah. Well, gee, you might call a doctor or something.
What is funny?
Oh, well, look, I gotta go. Watch yourself, mister.
Help.
Lots of years, brother.
I need help.
We all do, brother. We all do.
No, you
Step
don't.
aside, brother.
I'm hurt. Dying.
Wages of sin is death, brother. The wages of sin is death. Remember that, brother.
Hey, mister, you better beat it. You can't hang around here all night. You hear me?
Give me 2 tokens.
Yeah.
Go right through, honey.
Yeah.
Oh, we just missed it, Jim. We are always just missing trains.
There'll be another one along in a minute.
Well, what's he staring at?
Huh? Who?
Him, that bum. Hey, what are you staring at?
Oh, he's just drunk, honey.
Well, I don't like him staring.
Okay, buddy. You heard the lady.
Oh.
Hey, what's the matter?
Oh, he's sure carrying the mail.
Yeah, he's looking at us, but he don't see us. Hey, watch it, buddy. Watch it, you're slipping. Let me help you. Hey, you're hurt, aren't you? Honey, I'd better go get some help.
Come on, Jimmy. We don't want any trouble.
But, honey, this guy's hurt. He's hurt bad.
I know that.
I just can't leave him here.
Look, Jimmy, he's probably a crook or something.
Him? Oh, come on. Be sensible.
I am. And I want you to be sensible. You bother with him, you're going to have to bother with cops, courts maybe, and the newspaper.
Newspapers? You think so?
Sure. Supposing that guy dies, it's sure to get in the paper that you found him, you and me.
I don't want my name in the paper, do you?
Oh, but honey, he's hurt.
Do you want your name in the paper?
Well, no, I...
Darling, it wouldn't look too good, would it? Supposing your wife read about it, huh? Now, look, Jim. He's a bum. You going to throw everything away for a bum?
Oh, I don't know.
Our train's coming. He'll be all right.
But this guy...
Come on.
Look, buddy, I'm sorry.
Oh, he can't hear you. Come on.
Oh, I'd hate to leave him like this.
What's the matter with you? Was he your brother or something? You don't even know the guy. Don't buy trouble, Jim.
Maybe you're right.
Come on, darling.
You understand, Mac? Don't you?
Help. Help. I pushed through the gate, made it to the stairs. I held onto the railing and pulled myself up. 1 step. 2. 3. 4 steps. Couldn't go any further. The pain was too great. I sat down. I looked up at the street. It was morning now, and the sun was streaming into the subway. The day was awakening. People would be going to work. The sun was warm. Very warm. I sat there looking at the clouds, the sky, the sun. After a while, I closed my eyes. I could hear people coming down the steps.
Oh, brother, he's got a view. Where do they find the money?
Look at him.
Boy, he's sleeping peaceful like a baby. Oh, for the life of a bum, huh? Look at his mouth. Nobody open.
People of the city, going to work, laughing, ignoring me, leaving me to die. I didn't mind any longer. I should have cursed them, shouted out, but I didn't. I couldn't. I felt sorry for them. And then I heard a slow shuffle of feet coming down the steps, coming toward me. I could smell the stench of old wine and beer. I felt rough, calloused hands rub across my cheek. Finally, I heard a voice.
Remember me, mister? You gave me money last night. You was the only one who did. What's the matter, mister? You hurt?
Yes.
You stay there. I'm going to call an ambulance. You stay right there.
I heard him move away, and then, after a few minutes, he came back and sat beside me. He lifted my head and cradled it in his arms. I knew that it was going to be all right. I wanted to thank him.
Don't try and talk, mister. You don't have to say anything.
Thanks.
You don't got to thank me. I got to thank you. You gave me the money. I used your dime for the phone call.
Hey, you two, get out of the way. You bums are always cluttering up the steps.
Mister, my friend and me ain't bums. He's sick and I'm helping him.
I ought to call a cop.
You, mister. You're the bum.
Suspense, in which Mr. Skip Homeyer starred in William N. Robeson's production of Subway Stop by Arthur Zagora. In just a moment, reporting Mr. Homeyer in Subway Stop were Shirley Mitchell, Virginia Gregg, Barney Phillips, Bill Quinn, Joe DeSantis, Tommy Cook, Jackie Kelk, and Norm All.
0 Hour, starring Evelyn Rudy. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. such excitement the children hadn't known in their whole lives. Mink talked earnestly to someone near the rose bush, though no one was there. And then the two little girls shouting and laughing at each other. Such fun, such tremendous joy, it was all Mink's mother could do to get her grimy and excited daughter into lunch.
Goodness, Mink, I've never heard such a racket out in the garden. What are you and Anna up to?
The most exciting game ever. Just ever.
Oh, and what's the name of the game?
Invasion.
Invasion? Well, invasion will just have to wait until you've eaten your lunch properly. Now, slow down, young lady. Do you hear me?
Can't. Drill's waiting for me.
Drill? Well, what a peculiar name. Is he a new boy in the neighborhood, dear?
He's new, all right.
I don't think I've seen him. Which one is Drill?
Oh, he's just around. I've got to go now, Mom, if we're going to have the invasion.
You finish your milk, miss. Now, who's invading what?
The Martians are invading the Earth.
Oh, I see. And Drill's a Martian,
I think so. He's had a very hard time getting here.
I should imagine.
They couldn't figure out a way to attack Earth. How to get in or something. And Drill says they have to do it by surprise. And even get help from your enemy.
Oh, a fifth column.
Yes. And all this time, they haven't been able to figure out how to attack. Until one day, they thought of children.
Well, that was bright of them.
And they thought of how grown-ups are so busy, they never look under rose bushes or on lawns.
That's where Drill is now, under the rose bush?
Mm-hmm. With all his friends, too. And he says there's something about kids under 11 with imagination. And it's real funny to hear Drill talk.
It must be. Well, you can run along now, so you can have your invasion before dark. Bath tonight, school tomorrow, you know.
Drill says he won't have to take any more baths.
Oh, he does he?
And we can stay up till 10 o'clock.
Well, your friend, Mr. Drill, better mind his P's and Q's, or I'm going to call up his mother.
That's just it. Drill says you're dangerous, because you don't believe in Martians. Just like you think Drill's a kid. Well, he's not. And they're going to let us run the world when they get in. All of us kids. And I might even be queen.
Well, that's nice, dear. Now run along.
Mom?
What is it, dear?
Mom, when the invasion comes, we'll have to get rid of you and Daddy. But I'll be sure it won't hurt very much.
Well, thanks. Thanks a lot. Hello?
Hello, Mary.
Helen.
How are you?
Well, how nice. Are you in town?
No, I'm up home in Plainfield. I was just thinking of you. Thought I'd call.
Well, it's long distance, though. You shouldn't.
Well, I can afford 3 minutes. How's Henry?
Oh, fine. And Bill?
Just fine. What about Mink?
Oh, wonderful. Noisier than ever. She's got a new game now. It's taken the place of hopscotch. Invasion.
She's playing that, too.
Mm-hmm. Are yours?
Same thing. Some kind of geometric jacks, I suppose. Isn't it a scream? All the kids their age are playing it up here. Timmy's got a crush on some guy named, Drill. I think that's what it is.
Must be a new password. Mink likes him, too.
I didn't know it had got to your part of the world. Word of mouth, I suppose. You know kids.
Oh, sure.
Funniest thing, I got a letter from my sister in Boston. She says her kids are playing it, too, sweeping the country.
Well, I wonder where they learned it.
Don't ask me. All I know is what Timmy told me at lunch. 0 hours at 5 o'clock.
When?
5 o'clock today. That's when the invasion's going to be. These kids and their imagination. Oh, I wanted
And they talked a little more. Schoolgirl friends. Casual woman talk, but Mrs. Morris was thoughtful. She was thinking of other things.
I'm so glad.
Of adults, of little children with imagination, rose bushes, and their unseen friend named Drill. And she thought of how much she'd forgotten about being a child. And she wondered about Mink and all the kids everywhere who at that moment were playing Invasion. across the town in other gardens and other backyards, little children were excitedly playing a game, talking to rose bushes and grass lawns, trees and shrubs. Even children in apartment houses high in the air, conferring with potted plants, cactus and ivy. Mrs. Morris had finished her mending and gone back to the kitchen when Mink burst in.
Hello, dear.
Hi, Mom. Can I have a glass of water?
Well, of course, I'll get it.
Pi r squared 47. 8 over 56 to the 7th degree.
What, dear?
Oh, nothing, Mom.
Here's your water.
Thanks.
How are things going? The invasion.
Oh, that.
Yes, that.
Almost finished. Drill says we should be ready on time.
5 o'clock?
That's right. How did you know?
Well, Helen called me from Plainfield. She says Timmy's playing it, too.
Hey, that's keen.
I guess all the kids are. Aren't they?
No, not all of them. Not guys like Jill Essling and Jimmy Woods. They're growing up. They make fun of us. They're worse than parents. Well, we'll get rid of them. Jill says it's okay to kill them, too.
No, I don't like that kind of talk, Mink. Do you hear me? I don't like it at all.
Oh, Mom.
I mean it. You keep on that way and there's no more playing. You'll have to tell Anna to go home and you'll just stay inside until bedtime.
I'm sorry.
Well, I should think so.
Thanks for the water, Mom.
Mink?
Uh-huh.
What did those numbers mean?
What numbers?
Those numbers you were saying to yourself a minute ago.
Oh, that. There are things we have to do to get Drill and his friends out. That's all.
Look, dear, why don't you and Anna go down to the drugstore and get yourself some ice cream? You don't have to use your allowance. I'll give you the money.
Haven't got time, Mom. Thanks.
Well, I never thought I'd hear you say that.
I gotta go now, Mom.
Now, wait a minute. Mink, I want you to tell me the truth. What is this invasion silliness?
It isn't silly. It's just a game, that's all. We're just playing at invasion, Mom. Excuse me, I've got to get back now. See you later.
Mrs. Morris was disturbed. She wasn't sure why, but because she was disturbed, she did something she didn't usually do. She called her husband at the office.
Hello, dear.
Hello, Henry. I'm sorry to bother you, but Miss Maxon said you weren't busy.
Well, not too. I should be able to get home early today. Is everything all right?
Yes.
Are you all right?
Fine.
Me?
She's... Henry.
What, dear?
Oh, nothing. I just felt like talking to you for a minute, that's all.
Listen, are you sure you're all right?
Yes.
Mink been getting on your nerves?
No, not really. She's playing outside. She's fine.
Honey, is something wrong?
Well, no, I told you. I was thinking about you, and I wanted to talk, that's all. What time do you think you'll be home?
Oh, about 5, maybe a little earlier.
5? Oh.
Hey, what do you mean, oh?
Well, I was just thinking... Oh, it's nothing, really. Goodbye, dear.
You are okay, aren't you?
Yes, I'm fine. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Another hour passed, and it was 4:30. Outside it was quiet, the two little girls more intent than ever upon the endless movement of their game. Mrs. Morris watched from the window, and she had never known Mink to have such powers of concentration. She had turned on the radio and sat drinking a cup of coffee, turning over her thoughts.
Children. Children. Love and hate, side by side. Sometimes children love you and hate you, all in half a second. Strange children. Do they ever forget or forgive the whippings and the harsh, strict words of command? I wonder. How can you forget or forgive those over and above you? Those tall, silly dictators. Those parents.
Mom!
What is it, dear?
Have we got a piece of lead pipe and a hammer?
Well, I don't know. There might be in the garage. What do you want them for?
Oh, we just need them.
Well, if you tell me, I can go
I can get them. Thanks, Mom.
Is something wrong?
Yes. Drill's stuck halfway. If you could get him all the way through, it'd be easier. Then all the others could come through after him.
Oh, can I help?
Thanks, Mom. I can do it.
Well, you better hurry, Mink. I want you to take your bath before your father comes home.
All right.
He's coming home early, and Mink...
Mink had disappeared behind the shrubs. And Mrs. Morris knew it was ridiculous to make an issue of it. And besides, what was the issue? Invasion? Drill? 0 hour? Just a child's game. Time passed. Curious, waiting silence came upon the street, deepening. Then from the living room, Mrs. Morris heard... "5 o'clock. 0 hour. It had come. And now it had gone. But was the clock right? And Mrs. Morris, knowing how foolish it was, knowing it was 5 o'clock, went to the phone and dialed.
Silly.
The time is 4:54 and 20 seconds.
.54 and 20 seconds. And Mrs. Morris knew that it wasn't as silly as she had thought, because it wasn't 5 o'clock yet. Not 0 hour yet. And then she heard the car drive in, and her husband greeting her daughter.
Hi, Meg.
Hi, Daddy.
How's it going?
Fine.
You got a kiss for me?
I haven't got time now, Daddy.
That's a nice thing. What are you doing?
We're playing Invasion.
Swell. Your mother in the house?
Yes.
Okay. Be good.
I will. 0 hour in a few minutes, Daddy.
All right. I'll be ready. Mary?
I'm in the living room, dear.
Oh. Hi.
Hi.
Our daughter didn't have time for a kiss. How about you?
Hard day?
Not particularly.
Would you like a cocktail?
You read my mind.
Martini?
Perfect. Anything exciting happened today?
No. Oh, Helen called.
Oh?
From Plainfield. I told her she was crazy, but she just felt like calling.
Like you calling me this afternoon. Crazy, huh? What was that all about?
I told you. I wanted to.
Incidentally, what's this new game the kids are playing? Invasion? That's a nice, depressing thought. Is Mick all right? Come to think of it, she looked kind of funny.
She's all right. What time is it, Henry?
A couple minutes after 5. Why?
Well, no, the clock's wrong. By your watch.
Oh, I've got 2 minutes to. I'm probably slow. You got something on the stove?
No. Just wondered.
Honey, hey, look at me. Now, what's the matter?
Nothing, really.
Now, listen.
Really?
Mink's been up to something.
Oh, of course not.
Well, then what?
Well, I guess I'm just a little tired and upset, that's all.
You want to go out for dinner?
No, I've got steak in the icebox.
I'll tell you what, I'll barbecue it. How'd that be?
Fine. What was that?
What?
Thought I heard something.
I didn't.
Must have been imagining it.
Oh, you are jumpy. Why don't you have a drink? It'll do you good.
No, I don't want one. What time is it now?
Mary, what is this? I mean it. Now, something's wrong, and I want to know.
Oh, silly. It's just silly. I'm on edge, that's all.
Mary, there's...
I am.
I don't like it. Now, that kid's done something, hasn't she? I'm going to get her in.
No, Henry, please don't. She hasn't. It's nothing at all.
What's that?
I don't know.
Those kids haven't got anything dangerous out there, have they? I noticed a lot of junk lying around.
I thought it was a game. She wouldn't have done it herself. They made her do it.
What the devil
is it? Let her go out and tell them to stop playing now. It's after 5. You tell Mink to put off the invasion till tomorrow. Tell her.
What are they up to? I'd better take a look. Mink! Mink! Good Lord, it's outside there.
No, it's upstairs. I know it. In the attic. That's where it is.
Mary, it's not up there. It's outside.
In the attic. That's where it is.
Her mind had worked that quickly. Any excuse to get her husband away from the outside to get him upstairs to the attic in time. And outside, there were more eerie explosions. And they could hear the children screaming with delight. It's not in the attic. It's outside. And Mink's out there. Now, what's the matter with you?
No, I'll show you. Hurry. Get inside quick. Now we're safe tonight. Maybe we can sneak out later. Maybe we can escape.
Are you crazy? Why'd you throw the key away? For heaven's sake, the kid's out there. You wanted to get hurt?
No, you don't. We've got to stay here. We've got to stay here with me.
I don't know how I can get out. Where's that light switch?
Please be quiet. They'll hear us. They'll find us. Please.
There's a noise again. It's in the house now, Mary. Mary, what is this? What's happening now? You know. Answer me.
No.
Stop that. Somebody's downstairs. Now, who's down there? Who?
No, please.
Mary.
They might go away. Please.
And between his wife's terror and the electric coming from below, Mr. Morris felt a great fear. They trembled together in silence in the attic. Mr. and Mrs. Morris, parents of the little girl named Mink. Then they heard steps coming up the stairs. And a voice.
Daddy, where are you?
And a queer, cold light became visible under the door crack. A strange odor and the alien sound of eagerness in Mink's voice was almost more than they could bear.
Mommy? Daddy?
And another sound. And the lock to the attic door melted. Mink, with bright little eyes and tousled hair, peered inside. And behind her, tall, wavering blue shadows. Frightful shadows.
Peekaboo!
On CBS Radio.
Like Man, Somebody Dig Me, starring Ted Reed. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Man like crazy. Man, I dig everything. I dig Zen and underarm deodorant. I dig Elvis Presley and Sputniks. I even dig people that drive right on by when I'm hitchhiking. People call me the tennis shoe because I wear them and because I'm always on the move. But mostly because I'm cool, man. I could stand out here in the middle of this desert all day. It wouldn't bother me.
You want a lift?
I'm with you, chick.
How far are you going?
Oh, I just stick with Route 66, man. On to the ocean.
We're on our way to Las Vegas.
You going to California?
Like I wrote a poem, man. I want to read it to the Pacific Ocean.
Read it to the Pacific Ocean?
Well, I already read it to the Atlantic.
Well, if you read it to the Atlantic, why bother to read it to the Pacific?
Man, have you ever read a poem to the Atlantic in January?
Well, no. We almost didn't stop for you.
Well, most people won't take chance on hitchhikers these days.
As you're lucky we picked you up.
Look, man, I don't know what you want, but I ain't got it. I ain't got no rose to pin on you and no medals. Dig? I just stand by the road with my thumb up. If you want to pick me up, cool. If you want to drive on by, too cool. If you want to stop the car and let me out, that's okay with me. Because, man, I'm cool. I just don't care. You're the driver, and I'm just along for the ride. Dig?
I'm just making conversation.
If you're going to Vegas, man, you'll have to turn off at Kingman. I don't dig Vegas. Vegas is for squares. Well, right now I'm going to get me some shut-eye. I'm tired, man. The cops run me out of town last night for building a fire to keep warm. So I'm tired, man.
You mean just for building a fire?
Like, how was I to know all that wood was somebody's house? I pulled down the lids of my eyes and made like I was asleep, but it was all I could do to keep from busting out laughing. This was kicks, man. These squares were real kicks.
Turn on the radio, Walter.
Uh-huh.
Walter, I don't like that man.
Oh, don't be silly.
Keep your voice down. Do you want to wake him up? I think he's crazy, and I think he's dangerous.
Honey, he's perfectly harmless. I see his type on the road a lot lately. It's kind of fad. They call themselves the Beat Generation. They pretend that nothing matters to them anymore. They just drift. He's harmless.
Just the same, I wish we hadn't picked him up.
Interrupt Matinee Melodies to bring you another bulletin on the killer who's been terrorizing southern Nevada.
Walter, listen.
The hatchet maniac's fourth victim was just found brutally murdered in the small Nevada town of Searchlight, not far from the Arizona border. Only one eyewitness has seen the killer. She describes him as being medium height, dark coloring, and wearing a red nylon jacket and tennis shoes.
Walter,
use your head, Mary. We're in Arizona.
Oh, the description fits, and he could be carrying anything in that bag of his.
You want to look in the bag, like?
I thought you were asleep.
Don't jump. Stay cool. I'll put it in the front seat, and you can look-see. Man, it don't even zip or shut. So what do you dig inside? A bottle of wine from the supermarket, typewritten copies of my poems, a clean shirt with a dirty collar. Man, I travel so light, I don't even dig toothbrushes. So what am I going to do with a hatchet? Man, there is one thing about squares they never, ever learn.
This is Kingman, buddy. Where do you want to get out?
Anywhere.
Oh, we've got to get some gas.
Isn't that strange? The streets are almost deserted.
With that maniac running loose, everybody's probably locked up indoors.
Walter, shouldn't we have turned off by now? We're just about out of town.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a place. See? Pop's Food and Gas. We can pull in here and ask and get some gas at the same time.
I don't see anybody.
Like maybe they're closed.
Lights are still on. Well, I'll go inside.
Don't leave me, Walter.
Oh, there's nothing to be afraid of, Mary.
Well, I'm certainly not going to stay out here alone.
Like, thanks, chick.
Walter!
Like, who was I to stay in the car when the party's inside? Just as we go through the front door, some cat hustles in from the kitchen, wiping his hands on his apron.
Oh, there you are. I didn't hear you drive up.
Walter, he's got blood on his hands.
Mary. Please, don't be alarmed. Tomorrow's special is chicken and dumplings, and somebody has to kill the chickens. That's why I didn't hear you drive up.
Oh.
We need some gas.
Yeah, man, like gasoline.
Man, like right away I got eyes to see this cat ain't nobody's pop. And he ain't never run no gas station before. But do you think I'm going to tell squares? I drop my bag at the end of the counter, and then I walk around to the back of the station to scrub some of the dirt off my face. Takes me quite a while to scrub, and I come back around the station just in time to see the two squares drive off down the road. And what do you think happens? Instead of turning right to go to Vegas, they turn to the left. When I come in the cafe, I surprise this cat behind the counter.
Oh, man, you walk up on people like too quiet.
That's why they call me the tennis shoe.
Hey, like you're hip, they call me the cat.
I can tell why. Where did those two squares go?
Mexico.
Mexico? They said they were going to Vegas.
I know. They asked me where to turn, and I told them. If they drive long enough, they'll wind up in Mexico.
Oh, man. You are too cool. I leave the cat, and I'm walking west on 66 with my thumb ready. 10, maybe 15 minutes at the most, when this squad car with a flashing light screams up to a stop. Right away, they pull out those big, shiny pistols, and right away, I know what they're thinking. This is really going to be crazy.
Hold your hands in the air.
Man, like, go away.
Hold them up high if you don't want your head blown off.
That's better.
Just search him, George.
Oh, no, easy, man, easy. I laugh when people do that.
What do you got in the bag?
I got goodies for Grandma. You dig Grandma?
Step away from it. See what's in the bag, George.
My God.
What is it?
We got him.
Like, got who, man?
This is the hatchet killer, Charlie.
I look over to dig what's in the bag, and I almost flip. There, on top of the clean shirt with a dirty collar, on top of all that cool poetry, on top of an almost full half bottle of wine, there's this hatchet I never seen before. Man, like I'd laugh, but the hatchet is all bloody.
You better give us your name and give it to us fast.
I told you, man, I'm the tennis shoe.
I don't like your flip attitude.
So flip, man, flip.
I don't know whether you realize it or not, but you're in bad trouble. You've been caught with a murder weapon, no identification, and no alibi.
I told you my story, but you don't dig it.
You expect me to believe you've just been passing through the state?
Well, don't forget that Bronson cat in Gallup, New Mexico. He's all the alibi I need. I was swinging at a party at his place last night, all night. He digs me, so I'm not shook. Well, this is a new kick, Daddy-O. I ain't never been up for murder before. It is too cool.
Kingman Police.
Oh,
yeah, he's here.
It's
the Gallup Police.
Hello?
What that do that?
You got him there, will you? Put him on.
What that do
Will you shut up so I can hear?
What
shut up. Hello? Mr. Bronson, this is the Kingman Police. We got a man here that says you know him. Was at a party at your place last night. But he calls himself the tennis shoe. Huh? Just a minute. He says he never heard of you.
Let me talk to him. Hello, man.
Oh, yeah, ma'am.
Well, this is me, the tennis shoe.
Daddy-O, like I know.
Well, tell the man for me.
I would, but I can't forget.
Bronson, this is for real. They're trying to pin a murder on me.
Crazy, man. You're way out there, way out. Murder? What kicks?
What? Like, man, won't somebody dig me?
Now, do you want to tell me why you killed him?
But I didn't.
You were carrying a hatchet that killed 5 people. How did it get in your bag?
The cat must have put it there.
Who's that?
I told you already. The guy that was at Pop's place.
Who else saw him besides you?
I told you, the 2 squares that give me the lift.
The man and the woman you sent in the wrong direction?
I didn't send them in no wrong direction. This cat did. He's cool. He did it for a kick.
You killed the old man for a kick?
No! I'm innocent. It's all a collection of circumstances. I'm just a victim of the world, man.
Take him down and book him for first-degree murder. Hey, what's going on out there?
Most everybody in town's out front. They're yelling for the hatchet killer.
You aren't going to let them in here, Chief.
If they're making up their minds that they're coming in, it's going to take more than me to stop.
But you can't let them get me. All right, go on. Don't pay any attention to them.
I'm going out there and try to talk them out of it.
All right. They give me a chance to speak my mind. Now, quiet down.
Now, we're all friends and neighbors. I know how you all felt about Pop Daniels. Well, he was a friend of mine, too. But I know you all well enough to know that you want to see justice done.
Hey, that's what we brought this rope for.
Now, quiet down a minute. Now, just a minute.
We want the killer.
It's like a nightmare. A million hands pull and drag me out of the jail, across the street, and into this sleepy little park in the center of town. I try to laugh, man. I mean, it's a new kick being carried around like that. I try to laugh, but no laugh comes. And then I see this rope, the one with a long knot in it. And all of a sudden I know that the only cat that's going to be swinging at this party is me.
I wonder whatever possessed that man at Pop's place to give us the wrong turn.
Oh, I should have paid more attention to my own sense of direction.
Oh, all that driving, and here we are right back in Kingman. Only there was nobody in the street when we came through, and now look at that crowd over there in the park.
Probably a political rally of some sort.
No, look at that rope. They're going to hang somebody.
Hey, old-timer.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Well, they caught that fellow who's been going around chopping up people over in Nevada. But he sure made a mistake when he killed old Pop Daniels here in Kingman this afternoon. We don't put up with that
Look
kind
at that
of
man
stuff.
they're putting a rope on. Isn't that the
Yes, that's our hitchhiker. They're making a terrible mistake. He was with us all afternoon.
Walter, where are you going?
They'll hang him if I don't stop them.
Walter, come back here. They'll hang you, too.
Wait! Wait, this man is innocent! All right, let me through. Let me through here. He's innocent. I can prove it. Listen to me. Give me a chance and listen to me. If you hang him, you'll hang an innocent man. I can prove he's innocent because he's been with my wife and me all day.
Man, am I glad to see you. After that, it really wasn't any trouble. They told the cops where I'd been. The cops were mad because I wasn't the killer, but there wasn't anything they could do about it. And the next morning, I walk out of jail into the sunshine and the fresh air. Like, man, it's really great to be alive. And the world looks good. Even people look good. But I walk down the main drag, and in less than 5 blocks, I pass a little kid that tries to con me into buying up all his newspapers so he can go home early, a neon sign that screams good food and dance, 100 cars driven by guys that don't own them, and no apology from some guy I bumped into. And then I start wondering what I'm so gone about.
Young man.
Yeah, like...
I wonder if you'd be so kind. My daughter let me out of her car. She told me the optometrist was straight ahead, but somehow I got turned around. Would you lead me to the right door?
Optometrist?
Yes, I broke my glasses 3 days ago.
Well, Grandma, I don't know how you did it, but you just drifted yourself down about 2 doors. Here, you take my arm.
Thank you so much. You're such a kind young man.
Now, watch it. There's a step here.
My, it's so cool in here.
Well, I didn't know you were hip, Grandma.
And what nice music on the radio.
Yeah, Moms, it's way out. Now, here's a chair. You sit down.
Oh, thank you so much. Whatever would I have done without you?
Shh. There's a sign over there that says, quiet, please. I'll tell the receptionist you're here. Don't go away.
Can I help you?
Yes.
Are you family or a friend of the deceased?
Oh, it's my mother. She don't want to view the body. She just wants to sit here and meditate about the dearly departed.
I see.
Yeah. So you just leave her alone with her thoughts, and I'll be by and pick her up in a while.
Well, we do our best to be a comfort in a time of trial and stress.
Man. Oh, I get out on the street, and I hot-foot it way out in the desert before I fall down and bust out laughing. I think of that old chick sitting in that funeral parlor waiting for a pair of glasses, and I just about crack up, man. Oh, one thing about squares, man, they just never, ever learn.